like right now, it's facts.
Hello, Sheever. Hello. I have a very special interview here in the arena. I found the one and only Templar Assassin. Unbelievable. Templar, what did you think of that last game?
It's a secret.
Okay. Any advice for Beastcoast? Beastcoast about to play. They're looking for the answer to win the next one. What do you think they should do?
I can't tell them.
Okay. What is your name?
That's a secret.
Okay, fantastic. Great interview. All right, drop the act here, Templar. Are you having a good time? What's your real name?
My name's Grace. I come from the UK, and the game was amazing. I thought Beastcoast could bring that back, but they didn't.
All right, who are you here for? Who are you cheering for?
Obviously, Tundra.
Tundra?
Yes.
Okay. And you have pom-poms actually cheerleading for Tundra. Okay.
I love Tundra. Go Tundra! Woo!
All right, well, there you have it. TA, the secret is out. She is actually a Tundra fan. That is some dank new lore. Back to you guys.
I love it. I love the pom-poms as well. I love the cheering. We heard plenty of cheering, especially because this game did turn out to be a close one. It was a nice clash between two very different styles. At the end of the day, Beastcoast, they couldn't fully bring it back, but they did get some hope for the next game, right, T?
Yeah, 100%. The start of that game, not a lot of teams under that pressure, losing the racks like minute 18, they wouldn't find a way back in. But they nearly did it. They nearly did. But then Betboom kind of saw the smokes, kind of calculated, used a scan perfectly. So it's a tough battle. It really is.
I feel like Betboom is used to playing where they have a couple of throws. Because because they really try to push the pace to a degree where it's like, okay, they're going for, you know, tier 2 at 11 minutes. Okay, they're going for barracks at 18 minutes. They actually get it, but it almost turns out to be a disaster. And then they have the Pugna save. Like, they outskilled there, but that could have gone totally in the other direction.
It's spooky against the tiny tossback, and when they threw the Leshrac all the way back to the tier 4s, I'm like, okay, surely he died.
He's done.
But with that respawn, the heal, the decrep, it was enough to keep him alive. They were able to win the fight, so it's still scary, and that's a good sign for Beastcoast, but they need to be more careful in the early game, especially in a disadvantageous early game draft like that.
Yeah, they need to shape up, especially if they want to keep their tournament lives alive. We, of course, are going to have Game 2 coming at you very shortly. If you are here in the arena, then Team Spirit right now is having a signing session on the concourse, so make sure to check that out. We are going to a break, but when we're back, it is time for Betboom versus Beastcoast Game 2.
Avocado.
Wow. Okay, I know what you're thinking. I can do better than these guys. How come they get to be in the cool commercials? Well, do you really think you can do better? Because if so, go to esl.gg/BHO.
That's right. And if you win, hang out with us on the next video set.
Well, it depends on how well you do, though, because if you're really bad, you'll only get one line in the video like me.
Great. Sign up below.
To Beast.
What the hell? Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
I intend to push your limits. You show me what you're made of.
Nice.
Having any fun yet?
Yo, do you know? I've seen it all before. Disco, Tiger, Ronaldo, Mia, Megan, my main man, Money the King. There ain't nothing I ain't seen.
Okay, old school. You've never seen anyone like my girl Naomi, Mbappe, the Greek Freak, Athene, Kaisa, or Chloe Kim. Do you know there's never been anyone else like them? Look, OG, no disrespect. I know you think you've seen everything, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Checkmate.
It's pretty impressive. So you saw it. What do you think?
I think it's answering or no one.
Ancient or lower? Because it is ancient, actually. Well done. Well done. Clip number 2.
¿Te ves? Son ratas, pero ahorita se pone el rojo.
O sea, en Divine también se pone.
So side note, in Spanish, ratas refers to someone of a low skill level.
Let's go. Clip number 2. We got cocaine tomato.
Ya ves, soy súper rato. Ya no vi a lo de cómo pegó. Ese es ultra mega guay.
We're seeing high quality gameplay here.
This is Archon or lower?
Archon or lower? He's right again. It's Archon. Oof, that Snapfire blasts everyone out of the arena.
Oh.
Oh. I gotta say, this is a lot of farm on a Snapfire who's not doing very much.
What's he gonna do? He doing nothing.
Doing nothing?
I think something. Or lower.
No.
Does he know that his ulti is down? Oh, that's a good stun.
They're rats to me. This is Brazilian.
What are you recognizing here? Is it the clan?
The Knicks are the rats.
It's Brazilian. It's rank in South America.
Rats South America.
Yeah.
I think so. It's Divine Immortal too.
Leyenda.
It's legend.
Feels fair.
You're giving these rats too much credit. My goodness, the accuracy. These guys are killing it. With Guess the MMR, I hope you enjoyed another episode. We'll be back with another one some other time.
Game 2 between Betboom and Beastcoast coming at you live from the Hovet Arena. The first game taken by Betboom. Will Beastcoast be able to make a comeback in the second game of this series? We're about to find out as we are moments away from showing you the draft between these two teams. I'm joined by Purge, Tigoff, and Jenkins. Jenkins, I know I've come to you the previous time as well because we talked about Nature's Prophet. Obviously, we saw it in game 1. Will we see it again?
I want to say no because I feel like you should ban it, but nobody is. It's the strat that people seem to think they can beat, which I get it. The hero's not been that strong for a long time. You play against other teams, it doesn't feel that good, but these guys, they just understand it in and out. It feels like I said, at this point, I could see other people letting the Visage through.
Oh, no,
they
changed it up. They changed it up. We got ourselves Storm making it through instead. We had Storm banned out by Beastcoast in game 1, but this time around, it is Nature's Prophet and Visage that are removed. Betboom still opens the same way, though, with the Chaos Knight, and we've got the same situation again. So Betboom on the dire side with first pick, Beastcoast, overall last pick, second pick, and Radiant.
Again, you can give credit to Beastcoast why they allowed the Furion to go into game 1, because when you think about the previous games that they played on Betboom at least, it's like 3 losses, 1 win on Furion. It's not as if it's been winning every game. Like, it is a strat that you can beat. They just didn't have kind of that extra little piece of the puzzle to get that kind of comeback kind of online.
Yeah. Pugna Storm, is that what we're gonna see here?
Doesn't have to be Storm. Could be. I think Pugna's gonna be pretty effective though. Damage reduction, decrep to save whoever CK goes on, but they do need some AoE to deal with the CK illusions. Maybe a Pango pick here in the first phase.
I mean, if they wanted to go with the Lesh, they could also run Pugna Lesh, but it is a bit risky. There's still the counter pick from Betboom. Storm with the BKB rush build feels like it doesn't get countered by these like anti-mages and Nyx assassins too much, but Lesh might be different.
And they've only played 1 Pugna game in the tournament so far. Other teams, when it's available, bam, they snap it in, right? So
they did
Beastcoast at least, and they do go.
They go for the Storm. Yeah. I mean, this is just like the strongest opening in the whole tournament. Everybody's been picking this. There's not a better hero in the game to pump mana into, and Pugna, like the ability to turn HP into mana is just insane. Like if you think about the HP items in the game, like Heart of Tarrasque gives you like what 100 regen. Imagine trying to get 100 mana regen. It's like impossible.
Costs a lot of gold.
There's no that costs way more gold. So Pugna's just insane.
Yep. This combination, Pugna Storm, 7 games at the major so far with a 57% win rate. So it does reflect that.
Well, they get the nice dual lane combo, the CK Grim, but they've also got a little lockdown against the Storm. If he's initiating with his allies, he can get paired up and stuck. And then they start banning out the Hector heroes.
This is a pretty fun combination though, because, you know, Grim CK, I'm pretty sure, has a horrendous 33% win rate. It's won 3 out of 9 games. Like, it looks so good on paper, but it always feels to like fall flat in these kind of bigger games.
Yeah, I mean, when we do get to the later stages of the tournament, though, like, you have teams that are
winning.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a lot of those stats are, you know, the teams that have been knocked out already. But maybe they're knocked out because they're picking.
Exactly. There we go.
It's hard to say.
Well, one of the wins anyway with those two heroes was for Betboom, so they got that going for them.
They do.
Was against EG.
5 seconds remaining.
So the last time they did this opening, they went for the Doom Void Spirit, and I think Void Spirit Grim, that's a duo that looks really good.
Very powerful.
That won that, so even
2 against Storm, if you can land the disable, set up the ink spell nicely. 1, so a little bit of team fight disruption can be good there.
And the amount of fights, so Spirit Breaker also, he can charge in with the bulldoze, you unlock the fight. If Pugner gets scared in any way, you drop ward, you quickly disengage. But how disruptive you can be in a good game. You could also be a creep pretty quick. This hero is either very hit and miss.
Ooh, there's a great counter.
Oh god,
so
the
good
root.
for this game. Root against SP is excellent. This is the hero that's always been second phase when you pick CK. We actually get to see the matchup this game. Percentage-based damage against illusions is multiplied even farther, so if they can start a fight on their terms, maybe a toss back, like I don't see how they don't deal with CK well.
At Boom, they got the complete opposite lineup from game 1. This time they go high ground, they're gonna have Storm zipping their face, Tiny tossing them back, some Firestorm. They're not hitting any buildings. They have to get kills to go high ground.
Hit Malice is good against literally all these
everything.
heroes.
All of them. Yeah, destroy Spirit heroes.
I shivered. Like, I'm a Spirit Breaker player. I see Underlord. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
I need BKB to play the game now.
And everybody's doing this like Treads Atos build too. It's not you know, like Aghanim's Rush or something. Like it's the build that particularly destroys these heroes.
And Atos can interrupt charge as he's coming through. It's so good. He's going to show up to all these fights with his ultimate, and then he can go back to farming.
Does that mean that Betboom is going to play for the late game and need a carry for the Hog that will be able to do that in the last pick?
I mean, they could pivot the lanes. They could do SB support, Grim, and that could be the offlane CK. That way those counters aren't as strong. But, I mean, Underlord is pretty good against a lot of traditional carries anyways. And a lot of strength heroes are popular right now. He's still good against all those. Do you guys see a solution?
I want to say that they're going to pick Necrophos here.
We have seen the Hog play that before on the safe.
I don't know how great it is. I think that's the one game that Betboom looked weak in the past few series. They lost that one. They went Meteor, Hammer, Necro.
Yeah, they played it twice, one win, one loss.
I think some Viper-style offlane for Betboom could work well. You know, just put Grim CK as a safe lane. The Spirit Breaker enables the aggression of the Viper. The Shard eventually gives you some high ground siege, and it gives you enough of the fight that it can just be obnoxious.
All right, on the other side, we got Betboom banning out some of Hector's heroes with the Troll and the Luna removed from the pool.
Wait a minute.
Waiting?
Batrider's not banned.
Batrider is still in the pool.
I feel like this is going to be a mid-Underlord. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense.
I'm oohing you like, oh, go on, Jenkins.
I'm looking at the draft. That makes absolutely no sense. It would be a great back game if they didn't literally have the 2 roles that it can play. Unless we see some like Hector carry Underlord.
Okay, we need a carry most likely, right?
Yeah.
Most likely. We got Beastcoast so far. They banned out the Death Prophet, so they are expecting the CK at the moment to be on the safe lane, so moving some of the heroes from Noticed.
Yeah, Death Prophet would have been pretty good. Percentage-based damage against all these strength heroes. BKB to cover herself, more tower damage that they're going to need, since CK is okay at hitting towers, but not that great.
I kind of feel like for Beastcoast at least, some Void-style carry might just kind of work well for them. You can soak up, you can time walk through the Spirit Breaker charge. Oh, they have Shaman. Offlane Spirit Breaker.
So they'll up the tempo, and able to take Roche, take towers. That's where their tower hitting's coming from.
Yep. This is going to be, every time you have Shaman ultimate, you either want to take a tower, you want to either take a Roshan. If you're not using it for that, this draft will fill that kind of in their ability to move across the map.
Yeah, they needed the Shaman there. That feels like a really nice pick to round out the draft.
Good disable against Storm too, if you do catch him when he's balling back and forth.
It does a lot. It does a lot. And it's like it's not like the Serpent Wards, or nothing about Shadow Shaman cares about getting pitted. Like Atos doesn't interrupt your grip.
And these bans as well from Betboom, they knew it was an offlane Spirit Breaker, right? The Troll, the Luna, these heroes would just slaughter an offlane Spirit Breaker.
Dude, look how many Hector heroes are banned.
It's all of them.
It's like all of them in the first phase.
Oh.
That's so funny.
And guess what? There's still plenty more heroes in the pool for him. He's actually got a quite deep hero pool. Of course, the Spectre that we saw him play previous game is still in there as well.
I'd like a Razor style carry, but I don't think I've seen Beastcoast ever play it.
They'll go for the
Wraith King, the classic.
Sure.
The classic, yeah.
You absorb up the initial.
Issues that they might have if he gets jumped first, so he stays alive. That gives you time for Underlord to show up. Got a little stun, Initiator, you can hit the back line. It's always good to have those like jump, stun, high damage physical heroes against Grimstroke, so I kind of like it.
Again, I think my one fear for Beastcoast is just the early game. Once again, when you have a Wraith King carry, you got this, tiny Pugna supports, you're not having much explosive damage, and you rely on a couple items to come into play. So Betboom, if they get off to a good start, they can close out the map once again. It's just, can they not have that one moment where they allow Beastcoast back into the game?
Yeah, I think Beastcoast has better lanes this time. I think they have good early skirmish. Like Underlord's going to be a total beast. And Pugna Storm, like you can run around and kill anybody, and Hector's just going to farm. This is a much easier draft for them to execute.
So will we go to a third game, Purge?
I think so. I do like their draft much better. They played pretty good last game. It was very difficult with their heroes.
I gotta go Team Spirit Breaker, unfortunately. It happens. If it's picked, I have to side with it. So hopefully Spirit Breaker wins. Yeah, it's in the contract.
I'll go Beastcoast.
All right, well, let's see if we're gonna get that third game here live on stage. We're heading over to Odie Pixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 2 here between Betboom and Beastcoast. Fog, we've got quite different drafts really from both of them, sort of Betboom in particular. Beastcoast, of course, ending with a classic. They get that K1 Wraith King in.
Yeah, I kind of like this Beastcoast draft a lot better. I know last time I was really quite siding with Betboom, but this time I think Beastcoast, they can fight back earlier. I think this last time was a lot harder for them to really play into like mid game. This time, I see the lanes going a lot better. So I hate to say it, but I have to side with Jenkins a little bit.
Okay. And what do you sort of think of the Spirit Breaker pickup? I think not something that we're seeing every game, but we're going to get some action from it here on the side of Betboom, of course, playing it on the offlane.
I actually have to check before I say anything because I want to see, was it played at all here? Is that the first one? It's the first one I've seen.
I can't wait to see what Notice is going to be able to do with it. He's got some great heroes to combo with. Betboom very much ready to bring the action. But of course, this time round, as you said, definitely sort of a step up in Beastcoast being able to match what Betboom want to do when it comes to these skirmishes. And Beastcoast, we saw how well their sort of team fight execution was at one moment from last game. If they're able to reciprocate that a few times here, Betboom may struggle.
Yeah, and I like that I'm surprised that they actually got it, but they get the Underlord versus CK carry. Like, I was actually surprised because it was looking kind of defined that it was going to be Dahak playing the CK, and they give Whisper the Underlord. This we've seen has been one of the top bans in like the third, fourth phase in the tournament because CK is one of the most picked in these strength cores, etc. because of this annoying Firestorm, this percent pace damage, and also just the pit. This game, the pit is super valuable as well.
Yeah, the root.
I really thought Underlord was going to get banned down. It looks like an excellent game for it. And yeah, you mentioned skirmishing. I think Beastcoast has an infinitely better skirmishing draft than they did the last time around.
And good ways to turn up as well, right? If sort of anyone's going out, pushing out lanes on the map, Betboom, if they charge in, you got to be ready for Beastcoast to maybe turn up in style with the Fiend's Gate from the Underlords. All ready to start, Gojira. It's going to get gone on here.
Nice.
Very nice remnant there, leveled up by Lal as he'll drag back Gojira. He's looking to try and get towards Roshan for a deny, but Lal will be able to take him down and get that first blood.
That's how you do it, guys. Like, you see that Aether Remnant? That was a nice shot there. You gotta ward your mid player. Dahak saves it for him, blocks it perfectly. I love it. Even though he's the safe lane. How many safe laners would have taken that kill usually?
Exactly, yeah. Betboom making sure that Lal gets the boost to start things off. And it's going to be all very, very important, especially in this matchup. Void versus Storm could go either way. Lal having that bit of a heads up beginning.
Up top.
Maybe the difference maker. Top, Snako.
Starting as 3.
See if Gojira's going to be able to chase him down. They're in with the Avalanche. They'll get the setup. Another blast and a few more punches. Snako should go down. There we have it. Beastcoast.
Okay.
We saw last game it took them an ever so long time until they could get their first bit of action. This time round, Beastcoast making sure they keep up with Betboom from the first minute.
Yeah, really cool how they do that. They're going to leave the Tiny up top. Now they're going to bring the Pugna bottom to support. Pugna Wraith King, very strong lane. We'll see how Notice is able to do. I haven't gotten to see the Spirit Breaker too much since all these nerfs. I think it did get played once this tournament, did lose. But yeah, we'll see what he's going to be able to do with it. Does look like he can be a bit tough. He does have a pretty decent catch, of course, versus Storm, and there was limited disable when they had picked it out, but now with the Brute, with the Wraith King Stun and Avalanche, it might be difficult for Notice to get stuff done in the mid game.
Yeah, without a doubt, K1 is going to have a much better time than he did last game. We saw how much struggle he had to endure during that laning stage against what Betboom laned against him. So he's going to be much happier here in the start of this game too.
Still an aggressive lane though, this Grim and this Spirit Breaker. They can definitely look to pressure K1. If Stinger walks away at all, they can go straight onto K1. So Stinger, I think he has to stay down here pretty close to the Wraith King at all times.
Do you imagine we'll see them sort of try and make a move now that they hit the level 2, or do they kind of need that third level to have the punch to go on a Wraith King?
I think Betboom can make a lot of aggressive moves here. Especially if like a stun gets thrown out, you have a huge window to make any play. So I was mentioning they just use stun bottom, and instantly after the stun gets used, they charge Inkswell onto Stinger.
We'll be able to get back underneath the tower. He'll be fine. K1 trying to stand his ground a bit. He's got the stick charges as well. So
lane for him, actually. It looks like it might turn to be a pretty difficult lane. He does have the Pugna behind him, but I see Stinger actually went for a Decrepify, which is a bit different. Usually you just see the Pugna ward because you counteract, you do so much damage back to all the spells that they cast. But
top lane Gojira. Snako finds him with his shackles.
Oh, he looks pretty.
A little bit of, oh, nice. A little bit of sneaking around here from Gojira. He's going to be able to get away from the two of them. A very nice spot to stand his ground in, knowing exactly where they'd sweep up and down the tree line, and he makes it round them.
Take a look at mid. Do see Chris having the best time of all the cores on his team. As soon as we say that,
a good remnant.
Laurel.
As C-Smart does still have the verifier, as we saw. He's going to be fine. Both baiting in one another to get this action going.
Yeah, he's got 13 wand charges, so feeling very safe versus that Storm. Oh, Chris. This could catch him off guard. Sineko's at the ready. Yeah, he knows. Gojira's gonna scout it over. Now Chris, maybe in a weird spot. Laro's gonna build the pressure, maybe push him out, maybe even potentially kill him here.
He's smart. He's only got the 1-1 charge. So he's got the pullback. Lal just needs that one last hit. He's not able to get it in, so Seasmile will live. He'll have to take the walk back to base for a bit of time, where the lane's going to be completely free for Lal to farm. Back in the jungle, Seneko is looking for Gojira. Ooh, little Mango in a toss back. No, that's just going to go and save his life then. Again, Gojira coming out with these cute little moves as the supports, making sure that Betboom don't get the kills on him.
Does have to go all the way back as well, though. So now 2 lanes. Storm and the Tiny back at base. Definitely see Betboom get aggressive.
Yeah, going to try to set things up with the Ink Swell, but able to get him with the charge. Just himself now very, very low.
Really interesting to see Stinger. He even puts the Nether point in the blast. 0 points in the Nether ward. As we've mentioned multiple times, the Nether ward, it deals more damage back to you than what you cast. So
he's going to try and go for Stinger now. They can get the slow, not quite get the connection onto Stinger. So he's fine. And K1 still, he's suffering the most out of the cause.
But doing better than last time.
Yeah, exactly. I think so at this point last game he had about the 10 CS. Definitely going better for him this time round at the start.
Betboom having a very solid 3 lanes though. Whisper, he's keeping up though. This Underlord, he's going to be the big one to watch in the mid game. So him having a good start is going to be really important for Beastcoast. This Brood is going to be devastating, honestly. This Pit versus Void Spirit versus Spirit Breaker versus CK, it's going to be massive in some of these mid-game fights. Bottom.
You get the kill there. Gojira turning in from the side. Will get the 2 of them with the Avalanche. Stick charges will be popped with the toss. Force Major gets taken down. Good bash from Notice. Secures the kill and return on Stinger.
The good bash. I love it.
At the same time, top lane, they tried to make a bit of a move onto Whisper once they knew that he was alone. Out the shackles. The Hack is going to step back in. If they have enough damage with it, they've got to be a bit careful. Whisper hit very hard. Oh my goodness. That was a risky one there from Betboom, but it pays off. They get the kill and they both survive.
I was a little worried because the Hawk used the stun while he was actually still shackled, so that was a little bit weird there. He's just trying to get the damage in from it, but almost ends up turns and loses his life. Seneko high fives the tower and suicides. He'll be back to the lane in a moment.
I'll look for the quick reset, make sure that he's got that mana to play with when the Underlord turns back up to the top lane around the river. Gojira did look like he wanted to interrupt the attempt from Betboom to get the runes, but won't be able to stop Lal from grabbing that arcane.
One of the best runes you can find early on these spirits. Really active already though. Gojira, I think he's been World Traveler, all 3 lanes in these first 6 minutes. Top again.
They're going to try and make another move on Whisper.
He's very far up.
Look at there. He's going to be back up on his way over, and Betboom, they know it. They won't continue to commit for the kill on Underlord. Whisper will live.
Nice lane ward. I think that was placed just before Seneko did suicide.
See over in the mid, Lal. He tried to get in aggressively with that arcane rune onto Stinger.
Nice deny.
You won't find him initially. Has now got the wave in a position where that tier 1 is going to start to take a fair bit of damage with the siege creep. Top lane, Beastcoast, they're looking for action. Seneko will be able to hold back Whisper though, and Lal, he's TP'd over towards the top to help out. Seasmile goes in with a zip, gets in onto the Shaman, takes him out, but Beastcoast, they lose Whisper for that attempt.
Again, losing Whisper, it's costly.
They might lose more here, Lal. We'll step over towards Gojira. He's going to grab the bounty rim, but Seasmile's in. They've got enough between the 2 of them to take down Lal. He's still got Dissimilate and 1 charges, so unlikely they can really commit for the kill, especially with Force Major coming across, throws out a silence, make sure that Lal's escape is covered.
It's always a little dicey for Beastcoast, right? They're like, oh man, there could be like a Spirit Breaker charge potentially. I mean, they did see him for a moment down, but they didn't see the Grimstroke, so have to be careful of the backup, as we know. Betboom, they play fast.
Lal. A bit of damage here with the combo. Seneko also TPing over in case Chris did look to dive.
Refill the bottle as well. Laurel got about to play around this next 8-minute power rune. Potentially all the supports playing around mid. Notice is getting a ton of fun. Oh, they actually get the
Remnant's going to be off the mark. And that's going to give Chris the opportunity to just turn and look to make a move himself. He gets in on top of Seneko, takes him out. Got to be careful on Lal. Lal doesn't jump out in time.
He's just dead.
Gojira's just able to walk up, get the avalanche off. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had astral steps and escapes, but I guess he just felt that he was further away from the Tiny than he was. He gets taken down. That's a massive kill there on the mid.
2 back-to-back big mistakes there from Laurel.
Yeah.
The Aether Remnant probably doesn't get a kill or anything like that, but missing that one and then dying, costly. Force Majeure. good silence. The stun will connect.
Can't do enough damage on his own though. Chris, more than fine. Got some mana to play with. But yeah, Lyle's got to be careful. He's now suddenly in a position where he's at the bottom of the core net worth. And I feel like we've seen so many times with Void Spirits, if this hero starts to fall behind at the start, it's very hard to get yourself back in on the game. You've got to stay on top as a mid Void Spirit.
Especially from what we've seen this tournament, where we'll probably see Whisper get like, the Underlord build's been a little different. This tournament's been like this Treads Atos like semi-carry, but if they go pipe and they have Pug and Nether Ward, look at Void Spirit. What's he gonna do when they have all this type of magic resistance and negation? It's gonna be problematic. Pugna already versus Void Spirit is gonna cause problems later on.
We'll see this again. Lyle, indeed, you know, he had the step up all the time, but Gajira just walks up, avalanche on him. I mean, he had full vision as well. There was a ward down, so he saw Gajira coming in from a mile off. Just felt a little too comfortable.
Fine K1 though, and they did proc that ulti before bottom when we were watching the fight mid. Did see Notice, he was able to kill the Wraith King the first time, so are able to sneak in and get a big kill. Noticed is really farmed, by the way, also. Phase boots plus the Blitz Knuckles. Kind of a pretty early Shadow Blade up on him. Even start though, 6-5, less than 1k lead for Beastcoast, and looks like we potentially have a tower trade going on.
I think they maybe find Sting up.
Get him.
Should be fine here.
Stinger level 6, 3 points in Blast even.
I mean, can they TP over and look to defend this? Or do you think they'll just let it go?
How's our HP pools? I don't think they're gonna set up for the defense. Yeah, it's dead. Storm no TP, Tiny no TP. No way they can go. So Stinger just has to hide. He'll catch it afterwards. Low level supports on the side of Betboom though. Level 5 on Force Major, and they are giving Sineko top. Whisper comes down here.
Down to see if they can maybe get something out of this one. See Smile from the side, looking to zip in. He's going to go for it.
Into the Aether Remnant.
And he should still be able to continue his way over towards the Grim. Force Major taken out. So Beastcoast, they may lose a tower, but they get a kill from this. See over in the mid, Kajira. A bit of a quick toss combo onto Notice. K1 will start to step up, but the rest of Beastcoast sat down bottom, so Notice will be fine. And one component now away from the Shadow Blade for the offlane Spirit Breaker.
It's going to be an early one.
Oh, they're going to smoke again. You see Chris getting very, very active here as the Storm. 2-0-2 so far. He's had a great start.
Looks like Betboom might get aggressive themselves. They see Whisper bottom, and he may be tanky, but not versus these three.
Yeah, he's pretty far away from any sort of backup.
He looks very dead.
Now the question is what Beastcoast can do at the same time. They're in on towards Sineko. Not quite as big of a kill as that the Betboom find against Whisper.
Maybe they can set up for some pressure onto the mid lane, since I was mentioning Stinger's build this game. We usually don't see this on the support Pugnas where they're maxing out the blast, but he does have the 3 points right now. He'll get spotted, so he'll know there's some sort of vision in the area, but yeah. He's aware of where it is the next time with the D ward.
K1 with the armlet done, and the fact that his ult's back up. Go back to farming in these sort of greedier positions around the mid. It's much less appealing of a target now for Betboom to try and commit for.
Yeah, he's keeping up. He's only a little bit behind that CK, which is pretty huge. I mean, 0-1-1, and when you look at the Hawk, he has 3 kills, so the fact that the Wraith King's only 700 behind is pretty big. And Stinger will find that D ward, as we mentioned. And now we'll start putting more points into his Nether ward.
Smoke time for Betboom. Lal wanting to make the move with Sineko. They're sort of waiting to see if Chris shows on the top lane for the creeps. Sineko ready to set up.
Oh, he showed himself.
He did. I think he saw him on the creeps, right? So that little bit of a movement, Chris sees all he needs to see, and he's out of there.
Like a split second of vision. He was dead for sure there. Mid tower. Look at Stinger. He's just blasting the tower from the sidelines this time, though. He'll get punished for it.
A fair bit of damage done, though.
Yep. I think he got like 3, 4, 5 blasts even.
And of course, on their side of the river, their tower actually kind of in a similar situation. Under half HP, but Betboom, also with their lineup this time round, much more about going for the kills rather than for the early tower pushes.
When are they going to go for the push with Taneko, though? Right now they have the Mass Stepper wards, he TP's mid.
Oh, yeah, he's got the 6, yeah.
They want to turn it into a kill and a tower, so looking for the kill onto Chris Luck.
They're going to try for this. Chris, he's quick with the reaction, quick step to the side, but he still gets caught in the stun from that charge and the Inkswell. We'll see Beastcoast try and get some kills in return. They turn over towards Lyle, but the Soulbind from Force Major out onto the two of them with that silence. Means Lyle's going to have the space to get out to the side. Stinger tries to go with the light drain on Snake, but the charge is there. They'll look to burst through the two of them. They take down K1 the once. He's back for round 2, Lyle. Still much mana to play with. A great step across into the 3-man Inkswell setup there. Force Major has to be careful as he looks to step away to Hack. Staying on top of Whisper. Another charge from Noticed over towards K1. Lyle on the retreat. He'll get out of there. He's even thinking about maybe jumping back over if Gajira gets too close to the tower. Whew, Gajira can get in range for an avalanche. He could try for this. It's going to be a big zip from Chris. He plays his chance to try and close on Lyle. He's going to be able to do it.
He actually gets him.
Commits his entire mana pool there to hunt for Lyle, and it's a roaring success there. Gets him with the setup, and that's all they needed to finish Lyle off.
I think that's actually exactly what turns the tides of the change. I think maybe it was like still slightly Betboom favored out of all of it, but now they get a DD rune, and they're going to get the pressure afterwards. A big jump there from Chris.
Yeah, of course, very hard to avoid this sort of initiation.
Yep. I don't think they expected the Shadow Blade this early. I think Everleak did catch him off guard, the speed that he was able to connect. He knows he made that misplay. Instead of zipping through the Spirit Breaker, he did zip
and so
away
after that
from him.
initial charge, it was rather hard for Betboom to really get their next kill right.
It was
they
very
having
close.
A second life.
Like everybody almost died. Like Dahak was also man fighting versus Whisper down to like 10%. It was very close to it being maybe a disaster for them.
Betboom's going to keep it going.
Yeah.
Back out with the smoke. They've got their eyes on Gajiro. Turn with the avalanche. That's going to be the charge. Inkswell put to a stop. So he'll be able to get himself back under the tower. And this 5-man move from Betboom won't get anything towards the bottom. Still a couple of them smoked up. They could try and look towards the mid. Noticed. He'll just look to deal with the creeps. Try and keep this tower alive as long as they can.
Their lineup is all about that fast-paced aggression this time around on Betboom. They do not want to slow down, let the Wraith King just sit back and farm. With this Grim, with the Spirit Breaker, I'd imagine they're kind of paired together for the rest of the game. And if we have hit 15 minutes...
That's Taneko, he's just going to slam it down here on the mid lane. Get this tier 1 taken out.
Gets denied, though.
That's
all right.
Stinger. He's just going to be able to farm up some of these wards as well. Okay, no.
He's going to deny him.
Yeah, Snaker's going to deny.
Chris, though. They find him.
That's a big find there. Maybe feeling a little too safe underneath the Observer ward they had deep in the jungle of Betboom.
It is a very killer combo. Like we said, they're going to be paired together the entirety of the rest of this game.
They're going to try and go for more now, Betboom. They've taken out the Storm. They'll see if they can find a chance to set up for another. They certainly can. Stinger taken down in a couple of hits here from Dahak.
The Grimstroke Shard online is going to make it very easy for the Spirit Breaker to just commit into the fights most of the time. They do have a blink on. They actually have a blink on Gojira somehow. He's been farming very well, but
should be dead here.
Will die.
As Gojira, no escape for him. See if they can get a few bashes in as well. There we go. They'll charge over. Gojira will go down. But what are the things that could maybe play? Oh, unless he can juke this.
No, he's dead.
He's very dead. They will find him.
But that bought time.
And that does mean that maybe when he respawns, they might not have expected that he just got the Blink Dagger finish. So the Blink reveal from Gajira could be pretty big when he comes back into action in 20 seconds.
It's pretty early. And with Arcane boots, they probably think he's poor.
And when
he
you
went
just
for
killed
Arcanes. Yeah, that's pretty big how fast he's able to have it. And they're going to have Chris Luck with his BKB soon. Desto on K1.
They hit hard.
So very close, even early game.
And we'll regain some of their vision around this area there, half of the map, Beastcoast. And Whisper also opting for the BKB, so he can get really stuck in on the fight. Ensure that he's able to continuously lock someone down. I mean, we've seen a few times now the little things like the silence of the Phantom Embrace have slowed down Whisper's availability of locking down heroes like the Void Spirit, that are jumping all across the fight.
Beastcoast have a timing here for sure. BKB with that Atos also. I think they can look for some type of catch in fights here. With the blink on Tiny too. Now they have a better form of initiation. Mid tower is low too, Stinger. He's got the max blast. One more will take it away. Oh, Chris wants it though for himself.
It doesn't look like Betboom are too interested in taking a fight around this area. Lal. 1,400 gold away from the Aghanims. It will, of course, come at a time where their BKBs are in play. They'll get the jump in on the mid. And see if they can get him out of it. Oh, Chris. Oh, my goodness. He's put the BKB, but he's leashed soulbound together here. He gets taken down. Chris dying there despite the BKB. That leash leaving him no opportunity to run.
And now, do they have Shaman Wards? They can go for Roche.
They're going to go straight for it.
Oh, Chris.
Oh, they might.
A big mistake.
They can actually go in with the charge towards K1. We'll see if they commit with this. Notice. No, he's going to hold back. He's more than happy to just see the rest of his team head into the pit, drop down the wards. 2 heroes dead on Beastcoast. They still have the rest of the lineup around.
It's hard to
Standard as well. We'll see if these three can get in to slow this down.
Might have to just go for a steal play. I think it's eyes on Gojira. Can he make the jump?
Is he going to get there in time? It's already gone. He'll jump in. By the Roshan, it's been taken down. The Aegis picked up by Lal. Now Betboom can turn for a kill onto the Tiny by the looks of it. Let's K1 actually. Oh, okay. The Aegis was picked up, but immediately taken away there. As K1's able to come in with the damage. The root is there on the respawn.
He's dead.
Avalanche as well. Gojira gets back in. They take Lal down a second time. The control from Beast Coast heroes, these roots, meaning that once you get that opener onto the voice breaker, onto Lal, he hasn't got any other options left to escape.
He has to be a lot more careful. As we said, that root is going to trip them up constantly in this game. All three of their cores have to be very careful playing into it.
And not something that he's necessarily going to have much protection from. Of course, wanting to go for this Aghanims, the aggressive build, I mean that he's not going to have the quickest of timing on any sort of item that will be able to save himself from that lockdown.
And K1 is probably so happy because now he has 4 stacks of Deso because of that.
And that double benefit. And well on the way towards the BKB. These, as I say, these BKBs from Beast Coast are going to make it very difficult for Betboom to get these kills. You know, we've seen already, and for Lal, 5-3-5, you know, it's not a bad KDA, but it's getting closer and closer to the point of the game where the burst of the Void Spirit, Beast Coast aren't going to care.
Agreed. Especially when they're going to be getting toward a Wraith Pact very soon on Stinger. Max Nether Ward plus Wraith Pact, like Void Spirit's damage goes pretty low.
That's a hack. He's still there at the top level with the farmer K1, of course. BKB and going back to finish off his Echo Saber once more. But he'll still be very, very strong. And of course, as we saw the last time, if Chris himself gets caught out before that BKB or even after, he can still get affected by the leash. And the physical from Dahak will tear him apart.
Dahak just has to be careful of Whisper. That's kind of like the biggest thing. Everybody else he can deal with quite easily as this DK, but it's just the Firestorm and the pick combo that will be tripping up in most situations.
A close game on the numbers though, 12 to 15. 1K lead at the moment for Beast Coast. Could absolutely swing either way in a team fight. Beast Coast, they're going to look for it. Smoke up from the mid.
Chris just has to be the most careful, right? He's just the one that has to watch out for the leash. Rest of his team has been able to deal with all that really well.
See Gojira. They want to try and commit for notice. They will. They'll get him in the root. Toss back with the Avalanche. It's going to be a dead Spirit Breaker.
They want more.
It's going to be underneath the tier 2 though. If they look to dive this. And Gojira, will that blink again in a second? TP out from Force Mage. It's going to be put to a stop. Gojira steps in, catches him with the stun. Be another kill for Beast Coast with a creep wave in a great position. So they'll now be able to look towards taking this tier 2 tower down. And with 2 dead on Betboom, should be pretty hard for them to pull together a defense.
They should be able to take this tower out for sure.
They're looking for the trade down bottom.
They're going for trade. But they do not kill nearly at the same pace. Hector is even considering going a little bit more, maybe just lifestealing off creep wave, but they can hit this a bit more. They have a catapult.
I mean, they're going to have the full BKB coming out for K1. And of course, he's got the reincarnation. We'll see that maybe burst very quickly. Indeed, it does. He presents himself on the high ground, and Lal will take his first life very, very easily.
The pit's down, though. They can't commit past it.
Yeah, they can't charge through.
Now, okay, Wraith King ult is down. Yeah, I think Betboom, they back up, clear this wave out, look for a smoke, catch the Wraith King. But Beast Coast, I'd imagine they're going to be ready for this play.
Let's see what they go for next. Beast Coast.
Wait, okay, they did use smoke. It's spotted, though. I think it was they still saw inside of the base. So Beast Coast should be very aware that the smoke comes out. So Hector, I feel like he just has to play in a very defensive position right now, have Whisper in a position to just body for him, because Whisper, he shouldn't die. He should be able to get his BKB off in most of the situations.
Yeah, Beast Coast falling back, fully defensive in preparation for this sweep across the map from Betboom. We'll see notice.
It's an illusion.
There's and a full move revealed. Beast Coast not going to get caught out by this one bit.
Good moves for Beast Coast this game. 3K gold lead, Stinger even pressuring top. Might pay with his life. very likely dead.
And they'll catch him. Obviously, for Beastcoast, the least of their worries in terms of heroes they could lose to Betboom, especially when it was pretty much Betboom moving around the map as a full 5-man. So a lot of time and space there where Beastcoast carries and cores are going to be very happy elsewhere.
Yeah, he's just shoving the lane. I mean, this is what... He's kind of playing the 4 position a little bit more now as this Pugno, since the Tiny has gotten his Blink Dagger, so he can do these type of plays and doesn't get too much for Betboom as Wraith King's ult back up in 20 seconds. K1 will be a lot safer now.
Yeah, they definitely could look to go again then. Making good progress towards that Blink Dagger, making sure he as well has chances to get in. And whatever his teammates find the jump upon, whether Gajira or Chris gets that initiation, he'll be there to back up. And here we go, smoke time. As soon as the reincarnation's ready to go back up, they want to get K1 involved in the action. They know how strong he is right now as the Wraith King.
Sineko looks like he might just drop towards top as well, too. Force a move up toward him, so see where Beastcoast looks to punish.
They can catch Dahak. The root.
Toss play.
We're going to be able to toss back, indeed, the Grim over towards Dahak, so that's Force Major gone. Dahak popping the BKB. He's going to opt for the TP out. He doesn't want to try and take this fight. He'll escape this.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Top tower will go down. No deny this time around.
Top tower is falling.
Yeah,
Good
Betboom
move, Beastcoast.
trying to do their best to find these objectives around Beastcoast's willingness to hunt for action. And notice, I mean,
to finish the BKB, he needs it.
Yeah,
he can't go through the root. Until he has that, he cannot really charge through root almost ever in any of these fights, so it's going to be really difficult for him to fight. Laurel, same thing. BKB's queued up.
They've got to get him on these cores.
Yeah, he's getting close.
Does mean the Beastcoast, they'll have the space to take down some tier 2s. The bottom tower taken out, Betboom. No interest of turning up until those BKBs are done.
Okay, so Gojira is actually the one holding onto the Philosopher's Stone. I thought he'd pass it over to the Pugna, but Stinger, he already has his Wraith Pack done, so maybe that's all he wants. Still think Force Staff's going to be super valuable for either of these supports, and to point out on the other side, Betboom, they also have a Philosopher's Stone. Always have to point this out for some of these 4 positions to continue scaling as Whisper should be fine.
Yeah, not much that Notice can do on his own up here. He will reveal himself. Should be fine, though, at the edge of the range that Whisper would have potentially had with an Atos.
And again, Betboom. I've seen them do this so many times in these last few weeks, buying the gem. Even though they're not in any advantage, they still just pick it up, just really wanted to get that vision lead somehow. I like it. I've been seeing this more and more. Noticed.
It's going to be found by K1, but charges at the ready. He'll head straight back over to the safety hub now. Oh, Crystal is going to
got him.
Oh, okay. All right, he's used a lot of his mana, so he doesn't have much left to finish off the kill. And see if indeed the backup's coming in, so Chris won't be able to commit for that, but a very nice attempt there from Chris, catching him mid-charge.
It looked pretty. And he's got a rune coming up in 2 seconds too, so he'll find a regen. He'll be rewarded for it.
Betboom, lol, about 600 left on his BKB. We'll see it again here. Chris, a master of the angles that he needs to hit there. Swinging past and making sure he grabs him during that bull lightning, so there's no chance of being knocked back by the charge.
Find out Roche in about 10 seconds. And a full Lincoln's now on Chris, and he has the regen rune, as we mentioned before. So they should be able to have a presence on the map when that Roche does respawn shortly. Let's see the timer. It's a long one.
It would be a good time to go. I mean, Lal, he's in a very, very safe position. In fact, that is the BKB done. So that window where maybe Betboom would have been very vulnerable to the initiation of heroes like the Storm Spirit, it is gone now. With the BKBs, Betboom should always stand a chance of turning and standing strong in the fight.
Dota 2 right now. Triple BKB cores at the ready on both sides. So both teams definitely are keen to fight. Just depends on the location of where it will be and who gets the jump first. I was mentioning earlier about these Philosopher's Stones, as we just pointed out Force Major there. He's halfway toward an Aghanims on the Grimstroke, a really impactful one versus Wraith King too, if they're able to get it.
We'll see it.
Gets cancelled.
Sting up. He's going to get gone upon. He did get the Nether Ward down, won't be able to protect himself. Chris, he's going to go for the backlines. Big zip straight over towards the Shaman, takes out Sineko. He's now going to look towards the second support, see if he can take out Force Major, but the mana's running low. Good pit out onto the 3 of them, will lock them down. K1 stepping forward, he'll get him with the stun onto Force Major. Big hit here for the Wraith King, takes out the Grimstroke. As Beastcoast, they'll get the 2 of them. See if they can get more from this. Chris, zip over towards Lal, and won't be able to pull him back in time. Lal's out with the Dissimulate. Chris using that last bit of mana to try and keep eyes on Lal. And Lal should be fine here. Still has another dissimulate and a step. He's in fact just going to be able to go for the straight TP out, knowing that they've got no further way to close the gap there. Beastcoast, but just lose one support, and I'll take the two of them from Betboom on that.
They're getting pretty huge. K1 is massive this game, 17,500 net worth. He's got an AC too, so he already kind of has the counter versus the Hawk.
Absolutely, and he's getting those Deso stacks. He's building that damage up nicely.
I think Beastcoast is really feeling how strong they are. I think Betboom is going to struggle to fight in these next situations. You're already starting to see that damage fall off pretty hard. They catch the Pugna alone, but it still took him a little bit to kill him. Gives time for Chris Luck to go in, and yeah, Roche, 30 seconds.
30 seconds, I guess, pretty much all the BKBs will be ready to pop once more, so we'll see both teams for sure turn up.
I think Tahak is trying to get that level 20 pretty badly. Once he gets that, then we'll see that Reality Rift pierces spell immunity. It'll be easier for him to commit on a target. But before that, I don't see Betboom being able to fight very well into Beastcoast. Feels very difficult into all these auras. And Roche, it is back. Stinger already in the pit and ready.
See Betboom set up around the mid-tier 2 with the smoke. They're ready to go straight over. Beastcoast, they'll do it quick, but not quick enough that it will be done before Betboom's able to have a say about it.
Not quite 20 on Dahak, so he does not have the pull yet through those BKBs.
The side Lal. He's going to try and make the jump over towards Gajira. That's the reveal there of Betboom's first move.
The Roche is dead.
I mean, Beastcoast, they'll be able to continue on this. So Gajira making space outside of the pit as they go for him means that Beastcoast, they have all the space to get that Aegis securely into the hands of Chris.
It's similar to like the last game. If Beastcoast is set up for a fight, Betboom can't walk into it. The Pugna Ward is down, the Wraith Pact is down, and all these different auras, as we're mentioning, they just have so many. The AC, the Vlads, just the Atrophy aura in general that they've got.
Charge over towards Gajira, and he does reveal his position here, going for the outpost, but he's got backup. K1's going to charge straight away in on towards Lava. The BKBs are out. Gajira goes down. See if they can pull back K1. He's still got the reincarnation. He'll turn towards Notice, wanting to control K1, gets him back with the ultimate, knocks him over towards the Remnant, but a buyback is there from the Tiny. Chris commits straight over again, catching the supports onto the backlines. He's on top of Seneko. Seneko will go down as himself and Force Major taken out of the team fight.
They're trying to chase to get some type of big kills, but they just can't in any of these situations. Beastcoast up to a 7K gold lead. Feeling a lot easier for them to kind of do anything on the map. The K1 is massive, never has any fear of dying. And yeah, just it is so many different auras that they do have. And I'm looking at Betboom, they have no auras at all. You're playing versus like Vlad's, the Nether Ward, the Wraith Pact, you're playing versus Atrophy aura. There's so many different elements. You have to do 2 to 3 times more damage on the side of Betboom than the Beastcoast does to kill anybody in most of these fights.
Yeah, we saw here, they've go completely in onto the Tiny. They kill him off, but at that point, they've just got nothing left in the tank to take down anybody else on Beastcoast.
You have to expend so much.
And the fights, especially when they're the full 5-on-5, proving to be very, very tough for Betboom now at this moment in the game.
Chris, they'll break the Lincolns, get the stun.
Okay, that's the Aegis gone. As the Fiend's Gate set up, his backup's ready to turn up. They have the root control onto Dahak.
He's just gone.
So Chris more than happy to lose the Aegis in that sort of scenario. Top lane, Gajira, he's not going to be able to do much more than that. It's just Lal on his own, and
they're going to
on his own as well.
They're going to push mid, 60 seconds.
I mean, there's no buyback on Dahak either.
The Underlord too, he's hitting hard, 240 bonus damage still on Whisper.
With the AC and the Deso taken into account for K1, these buildings are going to fall pretty quickly.
You see Dahak there, I think he knows this game is getting pretty out of hand pretty fast. They've got the Grimstroke Ags.
See what they can do here with the 4 of them. Charge in over towards K1, but how much they really want to commit in onto killing this Wraith King. They'll burst him low, and they finish him off. Not quite. K1's going to be able to protect that reincarnation. They couldn't quite take him out. He'll start healing up as well off the creeps.
They don't even get him the once.
As they get what they came for, the mid-racks taken out. Beastcoast able to get the objectives, retreat, and with no losses on their side. 13K up. They're doing very, very well now in this position, and K1 looking to be in prime position to carry this game.
Starting to feel almost like smooth sailing. These fights just look so impossible for Betboom to kill anybody. I don't know how they kill these tanky cores.
All tier 2s, of course, already taken this game by Beastcoast. So any chance they get to push a lane out, Betboom almost certainly going to lose further areas of the base. Flags now done on Chris. I mean, we've seen already how great of and a zip forward that he's had to start multiple team fights, getting straight on top of the supports each and every time. It's made it almost possible for Snako and Force Major to play their game.
Yeah, now they have like these beautiful symphony of spells that they can combo up with the Vortex into a Pit, into Cleave from the Wraith King as he has that 20 talent too. That's feeling super hard, honestly. Dahak, I feel like he can't even walk out to farm very well now either. The constant threat of this Tiny, the constant threat of the Storm too. Even just the element of Fiendscape being able to jump on top of them. And throwing another aura into the mix too. The Underlord now has a Shiva, so already seeing the damage issues before from Betboom, now it just feels like they're never going to be able to kill almost anybody. Maybe the supports, but the core is definitely not.
Betboom stepping out.
Let's see. Can they find anybody isolated?
So hard to commit though. They know that Beastcoast are very, very close to one another.
And I don't think you can kill the Wraith King.
Do you really want to go on K1? I don't think so.
He's got his overwhelming blink coming out on the Courier too. Okay, they do have the Dark Portrait for a second though, but K1 quickly brings it down. And now,
I mean, K1 still wants to go. He's going to go in onto Force Major. The Glimmer will separate Force Major from the Wraith King for now, and K1's gone pretty deep. Serpent wards are down, Hex to set up, but the rest of Beastcoast are turning up, and here's Chris straight over towards the Grimstroke, takes out Force Major, over towards Seneko. We'll see the root control here, locking down Dahak. Dahak trying to bring down K1 just the once, will manage to do so, but now with the rest of his BKB, he has to run. The BKB is going to come to an end, so does his life. Triple kill for Chris. As Betboom, again, looking like they stand no chance against Beastcoast at this point of the game.
It's over for sure. 17,000 gold lead. CK dead, Void Spirit dead. They might just be able to hit tier 4s. They're pinging it. They're thinking about it, but
they don't have the buybacks on the cores. Very little that Betboom can do. They might try and stall it out to see if they can get one more fight up in a minute. Beastcoast, I don't think they're going to give them the chance to. Gajira already in onto Notice. Ready to look for the jump onto the Spirit Breaker. He's teasing with them, trying to keep their focus away from the buildings, but they'll kill him very easily. A toss back towards K1, he gets taken down. See a buyback come out here from Notice. Still 40 seconds they need to buy until they'll have the full team back up. Betboom, Beastcoast cleaning up another set of barracks. The Mega Creeps are out. As Beastcoast, they'll keep the pressure on. They're ready to look to close this one up. Over to the side, Gajira gets the toss back onto the two of them. The Avalanche as well. Vortex onto the three of them. Chris dragging them in. And they'll zip forward, take down Seneko, take down Notice. GG, it's called. And Beastcoast they'll swing back in game 2 and get the victory here. Bringing the series now 1-1 between them and Betboom. I mean, Fog, the start of this game, it looked like already Beastcoast, they were turning up with a much smoother draft. And this is what you want to see, right? This dynamic where K1, he's getting involved, he's getting active. He had a great game. He was pretty much at the top the whole time here as the Wraith King.
Yeah, it was a really clean game. I think we're all happy to get to see this third game because Beastcoast, they showed a lot of promise in the first game of how they were fighting around at this massive deficit. This game, they're playing even or ahead during the entirety of the game. Chris, a couple slip-ups on some of his deaths, but overall, a really solid execution on the Storm Spirit. And yeah, they just keep pressuring, and they did not allow Betboom to really win almost any of the fights once we got to that mid-game. It felt like Betboom was just constantly running away, never really, ever really to commit into the fight to kill a target. By the time they kill somebody, their BKBs are out, and they have to just run away. So, really tough game for Betboom.
Absolutely, some excellent stuff there from Beastcoast. And we'll see what Betboom can do in the third game. It's all going to matter. Of course, these two teams playing for their tournament lives here as they're now 1-1 in this best of 3. Beastcoast taking game 2.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Rise and shine a brand new day. Daily I can choose to be. Become what is best for me. Meeting life.
Yo, do you know? I seen it all before. Dukung, Tiger, Ronaldo, Mia, Megan, my main man, Money, the King. There ain't nothing I ain't seen.
Okay, old school. You've never seen anyone like my girl Naomi and Mbappe, the Greek freak, a thing, Haisa, or Chloe Kim. Do you know there's never been anyone else like them? Look, OG, no disrespect. I know you think you've seen everything, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Checkmate.
Write a sign, it makes my day. Day by day, I choose to see of scum or sea of glee. Gleeful is the better way. Wait no more and be on time. Time for killing off your fear. Fear not, don't you feel astray. Straight ahead, don't be a fool. Dum ba dum ba dum bum bum. Dum ba dum ba dum bum bum. Keep it cool. Keep it cool. Keep it cool. Keep it cool. I like a better. Take your time, hey, don't be a fool. Stay alive and keep it cool. Keep it cool. Keep it cool. Keep it cool.
I can't stop chasing you. You're my poison. You stuck to me.
We have a tie. We got a 1-1 Betcoast and Beastcoast and Betboom. I knew I was gonna make that mistake once today, and there you have it. But very happy to see this series, our opening series here on the main stage in the Hovet Arena, go to a third game, the deciding game. And after the game has ended, and we were walking backstage, we see both teams coming out of their booth, and I think Jenkins, you got a present.
I got a gift.
A gift.
What is it?
What?
Can you explain to everyone what it is?
I'm gonna wait for the zoom in. There we go.
Any moment you could tell us.
Keep zooming in. Get my hairline out of that. It's disgusting. That's a hand warmer.
It is.
This was from Chris Luck. Chris Smile, they call him now, because he's smiling all the time.
And he gave his luck to you,
It's
apparently.
a lucky hand warmer. So I'm worried for game 3, but they're feeling themselves. They're having a good time. They're laughing. They're smiling.
Yeah.
They're enjoying themselves.
I mean, they should be after a game like that, Purge, because that was a fantastic showing.
Yeah, they got the best heroes, I think, for the circumstance. Hector was able to hit creeps the whole time. They had Whisper having a good lane. The Underlord was impactful in tons of fights. And most importantly, Chris Luck got his BKB at a good time. He played more of a conventional Storm. And he just constantly dove the backline supports with BKB and killed them. And it made it so much harder for Betboom to take fights.
Yeah, this was such a rough game though for Betboom as well, because it started really good, but how quickly the BKBs came out that you mentioned, and also this Underlord, he was for me the MVP. Died a couple times in lane, but always being in position to have that route, to stop the aggression from the Void Spirit, the Spirit Breaker. At 18 minutes, they get the Aegis with Shaman, there's a route on top of that Aegis as it refreshes. Bam, you get the kill. They have no advantage. Like, it felt like Underlord was always ready to punish this first 20-minute timing that Betboom really needed to capitalize on.
Yeah, we got a couple of clips as well, perfectly demonstrating the backline jumping. of the Storm Spirit, as that is what Chris Luck, or C-Smile, did multiple times throughout the game, Jenkins.
Yeah, and shout outs to him, because his early game was really tough. There was a few pickoffs where, you know, he wasn't able to dodge like the Spirit Breaker charge, and a little bit, like a couple of blunders, and yet still turns out having a really good performance where he does get those backliners. I think that's where we see the power of the of the BKB Storm, where like all of these problems that you have earlier, just they're not an issue when you have the BKB. And if they're going to use everything on you through BKB, all their BKB piercing stuff, they're not going to kill you, zip away. It's like, it's so devastating.
They had a couple fights where they defended themselves really well with Glimmer Capes to buy them time, because Chris doesn't necessarily have slots. He needs as many null talismans as he can get. So that gave them some advantage, but both of the supports are kind of the same there. They're vulnerable to that backline deck.
It's also unfair, because Betboom, they've got, you know, a Voice Spirit and a Spirit Breaker who go so far into the fight, the poor supports, they're just like, please, we're not defended, we need help. And then instantly Chris Luck identifies that, jumps them, kills them, and then they run them over. So it's a super hard draft to kind of execute on Betboom, just because how easy BKBs are to buy and killing supports.
Also, somewhere out there, Kyle. I don't know where you are. Yo, shout outs to Kyle. Where is he? There he is. He's proud. Damage mitigation. You had the Underlord. You had the Nether Ward. You had the Wraith Pact. There was that one fight where the Hawk had to jump the backline Wraith Pact. He sits there hitting it. He's like, what? He's like, what the hell? This thing's not dying. And he BKBs and TPs out. And then his whole team dies because of that. Because his Wraith Pact, it just feels immortal in the fights. It's like, is it doing damage reduction on itself? What is this?
When the BKBs aren't active, even when SB's running in, all of his damage is being reduced by Nether Ward. It actually makes his hero less effective. I thought he did a really good job in both games so far, playing offlane for Betboom, but it wasn't enough this game.
Wasn't enough. You know who is doing a good job this time around? It's Slacks. He's in the audience somewhere. Where did you go?
Oh, hello? We were talking about Wraith Packs. Very interesting stuff here in the stands. My friend, you said you're a Betboom fan. What is your name?
I'm Frederick. Hi, everyone.
Hey, hi. You got any words for your boys fighting for their lives?
Yeah, I'm hoping Soneko gives some good speech, better draft. We enjoyed Spirit Breaker. Thank you very much. But now let's take serious and take it home.
All right, quit messing around and take it home. Betboom Balloon Boomer, how you doing?
I'm doing really great. The games are really amazing, and I hope for the third game, so the hack will show us something special. So they lost the match, but not the series. They will win, I'm sure. For that.
All right. And on the other side of the coin, these peeps think that Beastcoast got it. What do you think?
I reckon the one that doesn't pick Void Spirit got it.
I reckon that Void very much. All right, thoughts on Beastcoast?
I think that if Betboom pick Windrunner and Spirit Breaker, will be Gucci.
So do I, absolutely. And finally, this person did not want to be on the camera, so I thought I'd sneak down here. Final interview, Colin, who's gonna win?
Betboom.
Betboom from the mystery. All right, very well. Well, back to you guys. Thank you very much. Woo!
Thank you very much indeed. Who will take this third game? That's going to be the main question. I do have a quick question touching upon what the audience said. This Spirit Breaker did not work out, but T, I gotta ask, was this the Spirit Breaker issue or was this a Betboom issue?
This was, okay, it's tough for me, it's hard. No, it's the Underlord that just ruined the Spirit Breaker. I think legit, if there wasn't an Underlord, this game would be completely different because of the fights, the aggression, the Shadow Blade, like top 3 net worth. But then there's just the biggest counter in the game, plus a Tiny, which is a banging counter, so...
All right, listen, dude, as a Pudge player, that's copium, bro. I've heard some copium. That's not good.
We won't see it again.
Just give it up.
All right, well, we're going to find out. Will we see the Spirit Breaker again in game number 3? We're going to find out because draft of game 3 after this.
you know? I've seen it all before. Dukung, Tiger, Ronaldo, Mia, Megan, my main man, money, the king. There ain't nothing I ain't seen.
Okay, old school. You've never seen anyone like my girl Naomi and Mbappe, the Greek freak, a thing, Haisa, or Chloe Kim. Do you know there's never been anyone else like them? Look, OG, no disrespect. I know you think you've seen everything, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Checkmate.
Are you up for it? Better run. Are you up for it? Yeah, you gotta get it done, so are you up for it? Say, are you up? Are you up? Are you up for it? Up. Are you up? Are you up for it? Are you up for it? Make it count. Are you up for it? Better run. Are you up for it? Yeah, you gotta get it done, so are you up for it? Say, are you up? Are you up? Are you up for it? Up. Are you up? Are you up for it?
A third and deciding game coming your way between Betboom and Beastcoast. Both teams at the moment top 8 at the Stockholm Major. That is nice. But the winner here will make it to top 6. There's a lot to play for, a lot of money, a lot of points, a lot of pride as well. And before the series started, we pointed out that for Betboom, they've got 4 players that don't have that much experience to play on a big stage like this. And Purge, I want to touch upon that first, because obviously there's a lot of extra pressure that comes with playing on stage. In the first game started great for them, they won, but now they're a game down. How much do you think that will affect them in terms of momentum?
I think they're going to be okay, because even though they lost game 2, I thought they still played really well during that match. I think draft is obviously very important, but I think they're going to be able to just focus and play their Dota game. They're going to get some of the heroes they like. They just need a better draft.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that their game 1 was pretty smashing, that's kind of answers it for me. They don't have nerves. They're doing pretty fine. They've already had moments in the major so far where they've had to come back from defeat. So I think, honestly, this game 3 hopefully just keeps getting better and better.
All right, well, we did have a bit of a switch around, Jenkins, because Betboom this time around is on the Radiant side with Dire side for Beastcoast. Still, actually first pick now for Beastcoast. The overall last pick is for Betboom. So they completely swapped for that. In terms of draft, though, we got ourselves the same bans coming out from Beastcoast, but also a bit of a change for Betboom, as they previously banned out Timber and Snap, but now they remove Pugna and CK.
Yeah, this means Dahak is going to be on something very different from what he usually does. He plays these 3 heroes.
Okay, so someone over there in the crowd did ask for some spice from Dahak. In his pubs this week, he's played carry Death Prophet and he's played carry Doom.
Geez.
I don't think he's going to whip him out in the final game, potentially of a lower bracket, but keep it in mind, it's a Meteor Hammer Death Prophet as well.
Really
That's
likes that item.
He loves that
Only
item.
person that does, I think.
Yeah. Well, 50% nerf to the tower damage, so go for a meteor hammer. Makes a lot of sense, Purge. Back to you, Purge.
Thank you. They're going to go for the carry Doom, as predicted. There it is.
Yeah.
Grim, Doom, combo, that's usually banned. One of those two gets banned in the second phase typically, but they get to open with it. In some other series, Doom is still a first pick priority in the Fnatic versus T1 draft. It still was valued in that way, and beating against the Storm, it looks pretty solid.
So against a non-Beastcoast team, or I guess looking at a non-Beastcoast team, I'd look at this and say, okay, well, Io is a potential here. You pick Coddle. I'd say for Beastcoast, it's more likely Coddle. They don't really play either, so they just go for Batrider. I see, very reasonable.
Most likely would have been banned out going into the second phase.
Yeah.
But the fact that it is this evolution of Batrider, the offlane, the Tranks, the Null, the Bracer, Drum, Boots of Bearing, BKB, I'm just listing every item in the game at this point.
Right.
But just the fact that you are aggressive, you play with your team, you're not trying to wait for these bigger timings. It's
Why were
super
you
aggressive.
expecting it to get banned in the second phase? We've only had it banned once so far.
Because I feel like if you're opening Grim Doom, Doom leans on BKB timings quite early on, and it's a multitude of respect towards they pick Bat. It could be a good kind of natural counter to it.
Okay.
I feel like it's able to open team fights as well and try to force them to use their spells or to defend themselves in a place they don't want to. Like Betboom wants to take a fight where it's they initiate, they link 2 people, they doom 2 people. But if you have Batrider pulling one guy way out of position, if you have him like poking backlines, it's going to be a lot harder for Betboom to take a fight well. And on top of that, they also have Flame Break against Inkswell, which is super good at many stages of the game as well.
I think it's also just the fact that Whisper has played this, or they played this Batrider in the 3 last games that they played prior to the series and won all of them. So they just really enjoy this hero. I think they have an idea that it's a really strong side laner. The move speed buff on it, as well as the attack range buff, and I think it got a damage buff as well. Like, the hero is a legit side laner, and you basically get a mid laner out of the side lane, which is always really OP, right? You go the exact same build after the Boots of Bearing, except you don't have to invest in, okay, this is a mid laner. Like, Bat does fine in a side lane now.
Ooh, interesting. So they pick a Baton, but they've left the Tusk available. So every time they've played Batrider offlane so far, it's been Tusk, it's been Tiny, often Snapfire 5, super skirmishing, super aggressive. Be interesting to see if Beastcoast just go Tusk Snap here, for example.
Yeah, you want a melee 4 for sure. Like, Earth Spirit would work too if it was, a stronger hero. You're not going to pick it into Abaddon. Tusk seems really strong. Like,
you want a hero that can, if the lane's weird, you can at least pull the wave with boots, just play normal Dota, right?
The nice thing about Tusk here is that Abaddon wants to man up against you in the lane, and Tusk is like the #1 support for preventing that. He's great against like Death Prophet as well for the same reason. You just pop your icy hands and beat the shit out of the support that's trying to hit you. We'll see.
The only downside for Beastcoast is they don't really have a good way to separate the Betboom heroes outside of Lasso right now, and might make their, I don't know, it's like their pick-off play that they like doing so much. It's going to make it a little bit more limited if it's only around 1 ability, so that kind of worries me. They can still pick Tusk at Axe or something, but it's not a very common thing for them.
Rubik, okay.
They played it often against Grimstroke in the group stage. It seemed mediocre, but there's better spells to steal this game. Stealing Doom would be great.
Every one of these heroes is like a dream hero for Rubik to be against. If you steal Shield, you're just a better Abba. You steal Doom, you're a better Doom. Maybe not so much, but Grim, you steal Grim spells, you're a better Grim.
They do run into some trouble with it though, because Gojira still does have aggressive playstyle with it, and he's not as tanky, not as able to get out of danger. If you get initiated on, that can be a huge issue for him. But on the bright side, the 2 supports on the Betboom side aren't the best catchers, so depending on what the cores are of Betboom, maybe he'll be survivable enough.
Yeah, Beastcoast needs something melee. Like, they're super squishy right now.
Like, now you've seen Rubik's 4, like your 5 is like some Undying, some Clock style.
Undying
hero that's like
legit,
super disruptive.
I like the idea of an Undying.
But like this Rubik pick is now, like the lane's a little bit clunky because it's a Rubik, you're not biggest lane with it, so you go range creep, you can pull waves. Maybe that's like Betboom can lean on and punishing. I'm still down for the carry Doom, just because why not?
And you are expecting most likely to have that Batrider played by Whisper and therefore have a Rubik bat lane?
Yep. Exactly that.
All right, well, we had 5 bans banning out.
Oh my God.
Okay.
We can do that better than you. Throwing down the gauntlet.
But then who, is that a 5 Spearbreaker? Is that, what is it going to do?
Stinger or Rubik, I'm guessing?
I mean, sure, he can play it.
Spearbreaker does fit the play aggressive, stand in front of my opponents, mess with them kind of hero. Like, please do me. Go ahead.
This is the fun pick now because Betboom now reveal what's happening with this Doom.
Unless they get another flex pick out there, of course.
Oh, please don't.
Well, they already know what's gonna be mid, so
They need
if
an
it's not,
initiator.
yeah, if it's not the Doom, this should be the mid hero.
I mean,
this could just be like the Naga Siren pick, right, for Betboom. The Huck Naga, you're good against Batrider in lane. You don't really care about Spearbreaker Rubik at any point in the game. Doom just goes off lane, hands off keyboard.
Although Death Prophet is pretty good against Spearbreaker.
Now go for the Lesh.
Okay.
That's a little bit more tower pressure coming out from that as well.
I know most people consider Batrider to be like a hard counter to Lesh. You just run at him with napalm and kill him, and there's nothing you can do. You do more, like, you beat Lesh in a man fight, but I suppose Betboom is comfortable with this because they have the ABBA to prevent bats damage.
They're legit flexing this Doom at the end as well. Lesh is against Storm as well.
And also, yeah, Lesh is actually like top 5 win rates against Storm in the game, and he has the highest mid win rate against Storm.
And those 3 heroes, Grim, Abba, Lesh together, after laning phase, when they move around, they're going to be forcing multiple TPs. Like, they can actually take fights for, like, 3v4. Specifically because, like, Beastcoast, Barra, Rubik, they kind of enable the fight, but they're not the ones, like, getting the killing blow. So, yeah, this Betboom lineup can drag Beastcoast around the map really easily.
And even if it's not the best Lesh game, it still gives them tower pressure that they generally have, whether it's a Visage or a Prophet or whatever. Now they're going to have Diabolic Edict. If they do win early fights, they can take towers afterwards, and it's going to allow them to play in their comfort zone.
Well, Betboom once again almost having most of their bans going for against Hector. There's one still in the pool that I gotta mention because pairs up really nicely with Spirit Breaker, of course, the perfect taxi ride, if you will, Life Stealer.
Beastcoast's
It's okay. I mean, you can get doomed. That's still a big problem because you're going to want to Infest to get out usually halfway through the fight.
You can keep your passives during the Doom though, and like sit there and lifesteal. Like, it is one of the better heroes for manning up until the break comes out, if it does.
You have solutions against Grim in some cases too, but
10 seconds remaining.
They ban out the Luna in the end. We got Necrophos removed on the side of Beastcoast.
I mean, this is just about the best lifestealer draft you can ask for, actually. Like, you need a frontliner, you've SB to Infest, you've Bat to Infest, you've Storm to Infest. These are like 3 of the best lifestealer bombs.
I think the main concern for Beastcoast is these carries that came on play now, under the threat of Lesh hitting your towers early on, the Doom naturally just targeting you, it can be quite difficult to instantly, give me the lifestealer, give me the Void, you know?
even still, the Grim ulti is kind of a big pain for him, because if he does latch to Bat or Storm in a fight, like, it doesn't matter if he's magic immune, he's not doing what he needs to do, which is run down supports. And I feel like they also have a little bit of damage issues on the Beastcoast side right now. It's like,
okay.
Hector Jug. All right.
Interesting. So healing ward to offset Doom damage, if that does happen, that part's pretty good. Omni Slash can be good, help overwhelm the damage from Abba.
Yep, Ursa also should have a pretty decent time in lane because of the Abaddon, doesn't really care about Batrider now. Ursa into Jug, pretty nice matchup. But you're an Ursa into a Spirit Breaker.
It is 2 melees versus two ranged as well. Yeah. That is a bit of a risk.
Who's got most of the pressure on them then for Betboom?
Turn around.
Oh, I feel like it's always Leshrac.
Yeah,
like you wanna take the free, like, the hero wins basically every lane or does well in every lane, and then you can take all the tier 1 towers.
We've also seen these kind of Grim Doom lineups where on paper they're amazing, but they're unable to keep them in the area to take the fight, right? They don't have extra stuns really. It's like Leshrac, that's it. So if you do get doomed, just walk away. Just like, see ya boys, we'll reset in a minute, we'll come back and take the fight.
It is just Leshrac.
Yeah.
You are right about that.
So you get soulbound, you just have to walk in the opposite direction and then go back in with a zip, some healing ward.
I think something else that could really hurt Betboom is that Leshrac is probably not going to get much help with runes, because if Abba leaves the lane, it's going to be Batrider potentially getting kill openings. So with Spirit Break on the other side, maybe Laurel just gets killed too much early game.
Well, we can theory craft however much we want about how we think this game's going to play itself out, but it's much better to experience it live with the voices of Odie Pixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, get yourself ready for the deciding game 3 now between Betboom and Beastcoast. Fog, we're seeing the Spirit Breaker hero again, this time in the hands of Beastcoast. What do you make of this?
Shocking, actually, to see Rubik and Spirit Breaker brought out in the same game. I'm actually just kind of confused to see why that would happen now because we haven't had many Spirit Breakers in the tournament, and now I guess they're looking for an alternative for the Tiny for Gojira. But yeah, an interesting one for sure, since he is playing into a couple counters, in particular that Soulbind that can be really annoying, but I can see why they went for it.
Well, let's see. You couldn't help but feel that Betboom, they must have been very confident towards the end of the draft, right? The joke came out instantly. This Ursa picked up for Dahak.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to... I did see, like, they have a certain style that they like to play with, right? They like to be able to take the objectives. They like to be able to take either a tower or Roche very early on and not having to rely on supports. At least from what I've seen with the way that they draft in their styles, they always seem to have some type of, like, Lash, Nature's Prophet, Visage, etc., right? So I feel like that's what they're trying to, like, make sure that they have when they pick this Ursa on top of having Lash, that they have both tower taking and they have the availability to be able to take that Roche easily. They're going to know that that ward is there. Well, let's see if they do get the counter ward. And looking at matchups, that's pretty good at batting game, though. That's the one thing I'm definitely looking at. This could be some real good situations that Seneko can just shield off any of the aggression that can be coming out from the side of Beastcoast. Counting the lift, the charge, pull, Bat Rider spells.
Yeah, I was going to say that they needed this massively. I mean, we saw last game how much C-Smile Chris was just completely ruining the lives of both of Betboom's supports. So now having some sort of protection to help one another and potentially turn things around after he overextends, it's going to make a world of difference in the team fights.
Seneko, they might just be able to kill him here. With the lift and the spin, it should be enough.
Well, should certainly. We'll see if K1 gets it for himself. Oh, he will indeed. First blood here for the carry.
Stinger tried for the last hit, I saw it. No, nice play from them there. The charge and the lift being skilled up right away. We've been seeing this more and more from the Rubiks, in particular, I think Insania, the 5-position Rubik's been coming out a couple games. You can, I definitely am liking it a bit more myself, personally, as this 5-position, just because you can do stuff like that in the early game since it's been buffed so many times. Quick pause we do have coming out.
And having a look at sort of the lane situations we're going to have, it felt like, what, last game, K1, he had a slightly better situation than in game one. This time round, how easy is it going to be for K1 on the top lane?
Depends what creep the Doom gets. I'd say it's pretty free, no matter what, actually, but he could get, like, the mana burn creep, and then he just burns Hector all the time, and then they actually are able to apply pressure, but for the most part, I would say K1's able to free farm up here. Looking at bottom, this one could be hard for Betboom. They have double melee versus Bat Rider. They do have the shield to be able to counteract the sticky stacks a bit early on, but you can only shield so much. It has a pretty decently long cooldown early on, 12 seconds.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Seneko played very, very smart with the protection to ensure that both himself and Dahak don't die. This very aggressive duo of the Bat and Spirit Breaker.
And things change when you do die level 1 like this, right? Sure, he's going to be able to buy a stick from base. He'll be able to get those stick charges from the Bat Rider, and he has Orb of Venom to, like, click back, but they're going to be late to the lane. Ursa, Dahak is going to have to run all the way there. And that could definitely impact it. Whisper might just be like a full level, or full, like, half a level in advantage over the Ursa because of it. But yeah, let's see how it goes. And yeah, let's see what creep Noticed is able to find. We see the setup for the ward as well already placed. If you look at the ward that they placed inside the enemy jungle on the side of Betboom, they'll be able to see what creep spawns. So he'll be able to go check out what neutral he desires.
And what's he looking for at the top of his list? So the mana creep, or?
In that lane, probably. Like, sometimes it's the ogre creep because you're really good versus like a lot of physical damage, but he's playing versus Jug, so I think just mana creep is best.
Let's see how well K1's able to farm. As we saw last game on the Wraith King, he completely took over. Not a lot that Betboom could do to slow him down after a certain point. This time, at least, they still have the power of the Doom. You see top lane, K1. Is he going to be able to add another kill potentially? Okay, he backs off. Doesn't want to dive for it.
It's a lot of damage. You can't ever write off Scorched Earth early game.
If he gets any closer, takes a tower hit, maybe he gets the kill, but he's absolutely losing his life for it, and that's certainly not a sort of trade that he wants to sign up for.
Yeah, he opted to go for boots early. Since he got the first blood, he went for those just to be able to go for the kills, but that does mean that he's going to be a little bit weaker in like the stats department in this lane.
See bottom. Whisper trying to do his best to get the sticky napalm on the two of them.
Seneco's kind of being a boss down here. Had 5 sets of tangos, has already gone through 4 of them, used a lot of mana, also just shielding himself, so he is removing the pressure off of the Hawk pretty nicely down here, and preventing Whisper from getting much last ditch at all.
Yeah, Dak's going to be very, very happy with this. You say each and every time, full focus over towards that Abaddon, rather than towards being able to slow down this Ursa.
He's soaking so much for Dahak down here. Hasn't had to shield the Ursa once, as far as I've seen.
And as for the mid matchup, what do you sort of expect out of this one? We're going to see Chris have another good start?
Yep. Laurel win his own farm. Maybe with the rotation they can set up onto a kill, but I think Chris should be just fine. Even as a stack now to start farming. Really nicely done. So yeah, it should be a really good game for Chris again. Just has to watch out for the soulbind in later instances and some small silences, but from what we saw in the last game, he was perfect with his jumps. 1 or 2 deaths, and then he caught the groove of jumping into the back line every time.
I mean, is there sort of a point on this bottom lane where it gets a lot harder for Seneko to withstand the damage from the two of them and holding them back, or is Abaddon always going to have this strength against the Spirit Breaker bat?
It kind of looks like he is going to start having enough strength. So, I guess it's RNG based a little bit too. How many bashes is Gojira going to get on him for them to perhaps turn for a kill? Well, yeah, so far it's looking pretty damn good for him. They do get 1 bash, so it's actually a charge this time around.
Yeah, but they really do have to be careful. I mean, as we're saying, if Seneko ever gets sort of the stacks up on the curse, suddenly Dahak's going to have that opportunity to jump over and maybe get a kill out of this lane. We'll see him try for it now on towards Gojira. Get the silence, but Dahak, as soon as Whisper begins the Firefly, he backs off. So they can get Seneko. It's a good bash. Charges back up as well. He's only got the last shield here to try and protect himself, Seneko. Gojira has to back off. See Dahak jump in, holding back Whisper this time from Seneko.
Oh, the Firefly ended. He's got a TP out. And look at this, Chris is considering coming down here.
He was starting to head down.
The level 5 Storm Spirit gank, something I don't think you've ever seen.
He'll decide to stick around the mid lane.
This is a really fun bottom lane to watch, though. It's a lot of push and pull between both of them. They're both playing the limits perfectly.
Yeah, either side can lose heroes here.
Yeah.
So once again, I mean, it's getting close to the point where Seneko will be happy to dive and maybe rely on the pop of the shield to get these kills, especially if Gojira stays as low as he is here. So they can try for him. It's still hard. They know that Seneko's got that stick built up, many charges to play with.
It's hard for them to ever commit it. If they commit the kill onto Seneko, they'll probably both die to Dahak, so it's a bit of a difficult one for them there. But either way, they are still keeping up 16-3 on the Batrider, 22-2 on the Ursa. Not too bad.
Yeah, and we're basically seeing in the mid, Chris just able to utilize the small camp much better than Lyle's been able to do so. 34 CS against the 21, he's getting quite the lead.
I feel like every time I watch the mid lane lately, it's just easier for the dire mid laner to stack a small camp and utilize it like this. You have to like walk a lot differently, it feels like, on Radiant to be able to do it, since you don't have this clear vision when you're going toward the rune as easy. Whisper.
It's a good charge from Gojira. We'll catch on to the two of them with... again is enough. Whispers continuing to dance around the edge of the fight. I think the stacks build up onto Dahak. Gojira trying to push Seneko away. Seneko actually might be
he's
wanting to
Firefly
try
ending.
to go for Whisper. Indeed, he's got a shield to play with aggressively.
Whisper does have boots though, so should be able to keep his distance. But Seneko, he can just fight the 2v1, continue to let Dahak free farm.
Yeah, I mean, again, this Abaddon has been a perfect pick for Betboom in the lane already. And
he might even just kill. He didn't stick.
Seneko.
He didn't pop stick.
I mean, Whisper's going to go down as well. I mean, honestly, it's all down to Seneko on the support Abaddon. He's destroying everything that Beastcoast want to get done on this bottom.
And now Chris?
In mid lane, Chris is going to get run down by Lyle. He's out of mana. No chance to zip.
And Stinger, he might also just die walking into the Grimstroke. Laurel's here.
I don't know. Yeah, he's going to have the telekinesis to lift and throw back the Lestrak, but he's still dead for sure. Force Major takes him out. 3 kills back-to-back there across the map for Betboom.
And now onto the tower, level 4 Edict.
It's going down.
There's no glyph. It's that. They used glyph for a creep wave earlier, I think just to try to pressure one of the lanes. I think it was top.
A very painful series of events there for Beastcoast.
That was quite a sequence.
It's Betboom striking hard and sort of at the same pace that we had shown from them in that first game of the series.
Seneko really bossing this early game, though. The Orb of Venom purchase, I know it's a very common one that people do go on the Abaddon in most situations, but the way that he was able to just literally zone off both heroes for Dahak to have this start is pretty remarkable.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I think any other hero, and you're not seeing an Ursa get anywhere close to as good of a lane as Dahak's been able to against the Spirit Breaker Batrider.
He's already 6.
It's a very, almost impossible for them to go for him now. It's getting close to the point where Seneko can be ready to help out other lanes if necessary, and Dahak should be fine solo.
Mid tower taken. Laurel now can work on his stacks, and he can start making rotations himself. Top, I believe they have level 6 on notice. A lot of times you do see the Doom skip the Doom, but I think maybe in this situation he could take it if Laurel's making a move up there to gank this jug. They could perhaps actually kill K1. And yeah, Laurel's thinking about it. There's no lane ward either.
Yeah, there might be a chance for him to catch them by surprise.
These are big moves from Betboom. Already 2k gold advantage off just the laning phase, the way they've set it all up. Beastcoast feels like they have to pair their supports pretty soon to be able to match this aggression that's coming up.
He's tried to head down the river, but Lal and Force Major there waiting for him because you're not able to connect in time with the charge. As Betboom take another life.
I really think they have to play together. I don't think the Spirit Breaker and Rubik can now do these. Like, we're going to check this different runes together. I think they have to be playing kind of as 3, or they're going to die in every situation. There's a reason you don't see these picked too often. They can start to fall really far behind, and it's already starting to happen. 1k net worth on both of them, really low level, and it's really hard for them to commit into any of these heroes too. The Spirit Breaker in particular, if he just goes on any of the cores, he likely just dies to either Scorched Earth, Edict, or he just gets hit by the Ursa. Any of the 3 lanes is a problem by himself.
Bottom though, go for the killer with the lasso. Lift up, throwing him back into the Firefly. He's got the one charge. He's going to have the shield again in a second as well. He'll even turn to offer it up towards his Ursa to keep Dahak safe. Full meaning he has no protection for himself. As he goes down, Dahak trying to stand his ground. He's got backup coming in. Force Majors around. Beastcoast, they know. They're holding back from committing further onto the bear, especially when they know that Dahak's got the ult ready. It will just be Sineko going down. So Beastcoast finding a little bit of something, but as we say, you know, the Ursa's going to be a tough hero to kill for these heroes, considering the supports that Beastcoast have to work with.
And it's not easy this game at all for Beastcoast to hit towers. So they have to, like I was saying, they have to kind of play together as 3 for most of this just to counteract ganks and potentially turn it into a tower, because it's just easier for Betboom. This will be a good gank. Should be able to
He's
finish
going to
him.
get TP backup coming in.
Maybe not.
Chris has got to back away. He doesn't want to zip in under the tower. It's too low on mana to play around with that, and with a bear around, very well could have lost his life. So not able to get the kill on the support. Space is made here for Lal to push in top with the Diabolic Edict. Betboom continuing this early game aggression that Beastcoast are yet to be able to slow down.
Not easy for them to slow down pushes by any means either. The Rubik is their best D-push in the game, and he is a 5-position Rubik, so can't actually set up for that D-push quite easily. So top tower, they have to send Whisper to attempt to hold this, but Whisper might just die here.
I mean, yeah, how much can he do here?
Got the creep aggro, but tower will just drop the Edict.
Yeah, it's going to die way too quickly to the push of Betboom.
They're bringing more.
Coming in.
Okay.
They really want to try and do something. They've got the charge in over towards Lal. Kajira trying to start things up, but they're in with the Inkswell. The stun catching the Spirit Breaker. Kajira will go down. As Beastcoast, they've got to keep their distance. It's not an easy defense to pull together. Stinger's going to come in from the side. They've jumped forward with the Omni Slash. They brought Force Major down low. Smile comes in to look to finish him off, but the shield's there for Snake. It doesn't matter. They still lose the Grimstroke. See if they can get more. Chris, low on the mana. He'll look towards Sineko. Stick charges there. Sineko able to get another shield off. He'll continue to walk away from this fight. Whisper coming through the trees to look towards him, but he won't find him. Sineko will get back to the safety of his tower. It's be the 1-for-1, and it's a bit of a distraction because Dahak, he's moved into the pit. He's already got enough stacks built up, surely. He needs one more round of the Fury swipes. They do it before they're getting close. They're getting closer and closer, but he's fine. He's got it. So that whole move there, they get the tower. In terms of deaths, it's just a support for support. Dahak's able to get that Roshan, get that Aegis. Things continue to look on the up here for Betboom.
They forced 5 heroes top. That was literally all 5 heroes for Beastcoast to attempt for this defense, and they still lose the tower and unable to get any really big kills. So big moves continue to happen for Betboom in this early game.
Yeah, 3k lead, and it's only going to grow, of course, with the good timing that the Midas would picked up on notice. And of course, we saw there as well, it's hard for K1 to really turn up early in the fights. He's got the Maelstrom done now, but with that Omni Slash alone, especially with the amount of creeps who are pushing in, just meant that K1 didn't get the chance to get a lot of damage done with his ultimate.
Their damage is very lackluster this draft. Just because of the Spirit Breaker Rubik supports in particular. It's going to take a lot more time for the Jug and this Bat Rider to feel capable to just run into this. And Whisper will be okay. He'll be able to trickle himself away. Going for early game items, I see he's queued up the drums. So I think that just means he wants to fight around his team while Hector farms, and they're going to be looking to play as this 4-man unit, which does make sense. But already falling decently behind, 4k lead.
No surprise there with the early towers that Lal's been taking. An insane amount of building damage being done by this this Leshrac with a Diabolic Edict.
That's why they draft like this, right? They do this almost every single one of their games. They have some type of easy way to push towers down, be it the Nature's Prophet, the Vistage, or this Leshrac that they've played so many times. He almost has Yules too, so this is going to be a really big pickup. If you looked at their draft, they kind of were lacking initial setup for some of the stuns, perhaps onto the Storm, and also to stop Spirit Breaker. This could be huge. He's already got it done. So Yules this game, it's going to allow him to set up for ganks and also just stop ganks from coming onto him, be it a bat jumping him or a Spirit Breaker charging in or Storm. He could turn the tides of the fights just with the Yules into a stun. I do like that he went for it this time.
Beastcoast, their eyes on making a move on the bottom two. They'll go for Sineko. He'll steal the borrowed time. He's got the ult ready. So he'll get a shield off onto Lal, and now the damage not quite there really from Beastcoast to be able to finish off either of the two of them, even take away that Aegis from Lal. They have 3 heroes here. They couldn't commit.
And Dahak is now ready to play. He's ready to get involved in every fight. He has Diffusal done on this Ursa.
Yeah, these fights are going to be so hard for Beastcoast at this point of the game. See if they can still go for a chance.
That's a Yules.
As they're set up, the stun, he'll come in. We'll see Chris jump towards Lal, but he has to zip away. Stinger getting burned down by the AoE from the Leshrac. Whisper to fall. As Beastcoast, they can't get any kills in return. They can't, not at any of these moments where Sineko's at the side of any of these cores. We'll lose a courier, so Kajira able to find something. And Betboom, they'll look to try and make him pay for it. They won't be able to catch him. He's out with the charge.
Notice tried to set up with the War Stomp, but yeah, unable to versus that. Nice stolen shield, actually, from Stinger there. Almost saves Whisper, but not quite enough.
They should be on the verge of losing another tower here.
Like, look at Dahak. He's not playing the farm style. He's playing the aggression, look for kill style. K1, we know the way K1 plays. K1's playing the farm. He'll show up whenever he has Omni Slash if it looks like he's going to get some kills. We've even seen this man Omni Slash Ancients in the past, so he's all about the farm. Mid.
We're going to see if they can take down the Doom.
They're leashed up
back
now.
up there.
The double Doom.
The double Doom comes in. They've got to try and run.
Uh-oh.
But there's very little escape for these two as they'll close in. There's the slam down from Notice to they get themselves on top of Chris. Chris cannot escape from this. He'll look towards the neutrals. It doesn't matter. Notice still gets the kill, takes him out. As they just can't catch a break here, Beastcoast. Over towards the mid. Kajira does have a charge at the ready, so he'll get out. But losing the Storm, Chris having a much tougher game than he did last time.
He's got a lift, but he's looking pretty dead.
He's got no way out.
Oh, he's actually scared to keep going.
Yeah,
with the tower there.
Tier 1 tower is still up. Dahak not wanting to go too crazy here. Of course, he's not the one with the Aegis, so can't risk his life close to the tower. So he'll hold back, and at the end of the day, as a Rubik, he doesn't need to take that sort of risk for that level of kill.
Noticed. He's got backup coming.
I mean, they're going for the lasso here, Whisper, but it's going to mean he gets caught in the stun. Does get the kill done. We should see Betboom be able to pick him up in return. Dahak turns up.
Even if he dies, it's well worth it. It's such a farm Doom, right? It's top net worth. Get him off the map. Make space for K1. That's the name of the game always for Beastcoast.
Regeneration.
Of course, whilst we did see in game 1, whilst they still lost it, Beastcoast were able to swing around against a big lead that Betboom built up early. So absolutely every reason to believe there's a chance that Beastcoast with one solid fight could shake away Betboom's advantage.
Yeah, they've gone for a bit of a greedier style going for this jug. And K1 playing for the straight farm. Yasha and Maelstrom, 2 farming items. Still a chance, but the thing is that Betboom, they're getting so much gold out of the map because of this Doom, right? The Midas with that Devour as well. He almost has BKB, so they're going to have a pretty fast timing. It might be difficult for Beastcoast to fight back into all this just at such a net worth deficit. Yeah, and they are losing so much map control too because of these towers, right? Beastcoast can't hit towers. Betboom, they've already dictated pace with towers. Now they can keep playing aggressive and building that gold lead.
Yeah, their heroes like Chris on his Storm has to play so careful because getting caught by the soul binds, the dooms, it's very easy for Betboom to find those opportunities. Top lane, quick catch onto Kajira. We'll see Whisper try and save him, knocking back Lar with a flame break, but it doesn't matter. He still goes down, 10-4.
Yeah, this Yules is going to cause massive problems. It's just so easy for him to set up on anybody around the map until those BKBs are coming out. And now potentially looking at the top tower. They have a siege wave coming in too, so yeah, definitely a possibility that they go for this one. As we mentioned, pretty much no D push on the side of Beastcoast.
Now Whisper is going to show himself around the tower. Further TPs to come in. They do want to try and hold this.
They're going to look for a fight. What does Stinger find? He gets a really good steal, the shield.
Trying to sort of get Seneko back in a position where they can go on him, but not able to drag him deep enough, and even with the charge, they hold back on it. They know that Seneko in his borrowed time is too pesky of a target to initiate on.
Betboom's still thinking about going in. They have the double doom. Dahak has
There's
his link.
They're in onto Smile, but he's out before the Ink Swell pops. Keeps his distance. Doom from the high ground, looking for the opportunity to...
He breaks the smoke.
Get the ultimate in. Yeah, Beastcoast, they're going to be very aware that they're up here on this high ground. They're going to keep the distance between themselves and those stairs, make sure there's no chance for Betboom to jump.
And in the meanwhile, K1 just continuing to farm quietly, all the space in the world, sends a healing ward to scout and maybe join his teammates. Bit of a cool one.
It's getting to the point where he can, and at least having the Manta done, relying on that to sort of play around some of the jumps that Betboom have to hack. Again, not quite able to find the initiation onto a core. Settle for Stinger instead. Whisper was able to make it out of there in time.
Top rune though. Gojira will be able to steal away a regen during all of it. Yeah, continue to see the Yules setting up for these kills. Makes it a lot easier for Betboom to go for these just pick-offs instead of committing into a straight fight. Backs directly to top, trying to get some tower pressure. They know Glyph is down this time. And Gojira does show himself on the wave. He is very dead. An interesting skill build too from Gojira. 0 in the bulldoze. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it still wouldn't mess with like the Yule's timing. I guess having that little resistance against the stun could give him chances to escape.
Whisper, he's been found. That ward, I mean, they placed a new one up there. I think it got de-warded earlier or timed out, but yeah, continuing to play around their vision, continuing to play very aggressive, knowing that Beastcoast just has no way to enter the fights, no way to initiate themselves. Chris, as we've seen, he was waiting until he has BKB, and besides that, they had no way to jump in fights. They had a Bat Rider with drums, so it's very easy for Betboom to read where the plays are coming from and be prepared for them.
They're gonna maybe see if they can get noticed, but he has BKB.
He is tanky. They need the Omni Slash as the charge comes through.
And they kind of need to catch it before the BKB goes off. He's leading in with the Omni Slash.
Oh, against the creep.
The neutrals. BKB is up. Doesn't matter. They still got the damage. The control's there for Gojira. The ultimate, they get in, they take down Notice. The question is if they can get out. Well, the question is also if they want to get out. They're going to try and take this fight by looks of it, but Gojira, controlled by the silence, he'll fall. The rest of Beastcoast, they will take that moment to escape. So they get in, they'll get a trade out of this one, and again, a good trade for them considering the sort of the deficit they're playing at right now.
It was a good retreat. Yep. Betboom actually overcommitted the defensive. They bring all heroes to try to fight back, thinking that Beastcoast is probably going to fight them, but good escape. Beastcoast get a good assassination and back away. It still is an expensive one, though. They have to commit a lot to get that kill, and the positioning of it isn't really the best either. It's a kill in a random area. It doesn't lead to anything. The Hawk is charged. He's invis. Might not be aware that they know exactly where he is. And again, Seneko does this every game. A gem picked up from him again. 20 minutes. As soon as he gets some gold after buying one of his items, does get that gem picked up.
Let's see what they can do around the mid. I mean, Dahak's got his eyes on the two of them. He knows exactly what they're setting up for. As the Inkswell will go for Gojira. Gojira tries to charge to hold him back, but the stun's still in range. And the death here on the Spirit Breaker. It's Betboom. With that, they're opening up the opportunities to head towards that Roshan. It's going to be up in just less than 30 seconds. So, again, continued control of the game to make sure that Rosh attempt should be fairly easy for them. They're even going to look to try and go for a kill first to make sure that the map is in a very, very good spot.
They're even hanging on to Soulbind in most situations, just waiting for the Doom to come back. Because that last one, they could have maybe gotten a catch since they had the vision with the Ursa there and then the Storm, but settling for the easier kill, saving those two ults for the next fight. Seeing Seneko with his gem, scouting out the area. No vision on the map now for Beastcoast because of this.
They're on the high ground hitherto. And they're going to get the jump.
They're going to get both.
Jump. Who's top? The double Doom, it's there. And it's the big one as well, getting K1. He's been top farm pretty much most of the game, but Betboom taking him out of the map there as Beastcoast were not prepared for those two to be up there on the high ground in that position.
And now Rosh is up too, so they're going to be able to come into the Rosh pit easily. Huge moves.
17-5, 4K lead for Betboom. Absolutely on a similar trajectory to what they were at the same point in the first game of this series. As I said, we did still see a moment where Beastcoast were able to turn it around momentarily. We'll see if they're able to find the strength and ability to do that again here in this all-important Game 3.
They are really starting to fall behind, though. It's Chris, his farm is okay, but Whisper is completely stagnated on this Bat Rider.
They're trying their best to mess with the Roshan. They get the charge in. What they could do about Gajira, instantly coming out with the silence. Lyle committing with the BKB off to the side. They'll lose the Spirit Breaker. Gajira goes down. He has got the buyback. Whisper trying to keep vision. Chris in with a big zip, but Roshan not quite low enough yet for him to try to steal the turn for Lyle. They'll bring out the Leshrac. Dahak will continue to beat into the Roche. Look to take it off the tip of the lasso's there. They're locking down the Ursa. Roche incredibly low.
Dahak gets it.
They still get it on Betboom. Aegis into the hands of the Ursa. Beastcoast at least getting some kills from this though, and will immediately remove that Aegis from Dahak. Charge over now towards Seneko. He's got another shield to protect himself, but Gajira staying on top of him. The speed of the pig pole though will save Seneko. Seneko's out of there. Force Major, can he escape this as well? Doesn't look like it. So Beastcoast, they might not get there in time to get the Roche for the Aegis themselves, but they certainly make Betboom pay for it. They immediately take the Aegis out of the hands of the Ursa and do get 2 kills on top of it as well, one of them being Lyle.
And K1 comes back, gets a little cleanup kill for himself. Doesn't get the last hit, but immediately when he respawned back, Betboom was immediately running away. They did not want to take the fight into that. That was the BKB reveal from the Lash, and he dies during it, so yeah, that's pretty significant.
And we'll see it here again.
Good surround. They're so persistent of fighting around it, too. It looked a bit scary with the way that it all initially kicked off with Gojira dying, but Laurel tanked the Roche a lot, too. Kept getting hit from it, and he's carrying Nethershaw, so heavy physical damage.
Yeah, great zip from Chris coming in just in the time that Lyle's BKB came to an end. And no further way to protect him. And with the lasso really putting everything into trying to stop Dahak from getting that last hit and getting the pick up, but he still does.
How many nukes did Stinger get off in that fight, too, as this Rubik? I think, what, 5 Fade Bolts, I believe? So definitely another thing they have to be a little careful of how they group up. Yeah, at least 5 Fade Bolts, I think.
And the gold lead, of course, still growing for Betboom, but certainly could have been a whole lot worse for Beastcoast if they hadn't forced that fight around the Roshan. Making sure that Betboom still in a situation where they don't have an Aegis on any of their cores, so may buy further time for K1 to continue to build his farm up.
Who took the shard to? It's just the Ursa, right? They gave it to Dahak, yeah. And did he commit for Scotty? Okay, he did. Committed for Scotty on K1 too. I was thinking maybe he does go for like the Lincolns a little earlier just because of that double Doom situation, but
Radiant are scanning.
still very strong. Top of the net worth on Hector.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So both teams will start heading for the tier 2s. Betboom should guarantee this top one. Fortification comes out. Beastcoast probably not going to look to head up here. They'll just look to try and take a couple of towers and return themselves. They've still got a tier 1 they need to push in the mid lane. So charge coming in. This tower's already gone, and indeed, Gojira doesn't want to get involved in this one. They'll let it fall.
And now they'll reset the Glyph mid, so they will have Glyph for bottom. And now mid, the Doom.
They get the jump. They're in with the Doom. They're in on top of K1. Notice they're able to get that jump off. And that'll mean there's no escape here for the Jug. Stinger as well, also to be taken out. They have got the tower, but not able to back off in time there as Betboom swing across. Beastcoast, they weren't quite prepared.
Even though it gets a stolen Doom, but it doesn't matter. They keep getting the jump onto K1. This is a big problem. The top net worth hero dying back to back.
Some fantastic jumps from Noticed. Always been sort of him plus a support plus Force Major being in the right position to punish these cores of Beastcoast when they go out looking for these moves. K1 in particular, he's been caught by the jump of the Doom twice now in these crucial moments.
Their bash? They get the bash?
Oh, he's still out with the zip though. Certainly was a bit of a scare there for Chris, but he'll live.
Betboom is just so aggressive. They know how aggressive they can play on the map in this game. Pretty much everybody's showing on the lanes on Beastcoast. So they can just jump anybody they see in these situations. And yeah, a couple times now, it has been K1. And now he no longer has that top net worth. Notice, gets the stun, fancy.
Still who stomped there. There'd been no chance for them to set up. I mean, even if Gojira did catch that, probably weren't going to be able to threaten him. His BKB back up. Looking for the Shadow Blade next to make sure he has even more chances of being able to sneak up as this Doom and get that jump off without Beastcoast being ready. There it is, Shadow Blade complete.
K1 showing himself again. They want him.
Oh, they're in to start things off, but the Blade Fury's off in time. They'll turn for Dahak. He's got that ult protecting him, but now the lasso comes in, dragging him towards the tower. In he goes with the Omni Slash. The BKB's popped by Lyle. It's good damage this time from K1, but not quite enough. They're down to about half HP here on the cores. Beastcoast, have they got any further catch? Charge over towards Seneko. He hasn't got the borrowed time. It's already gone off this fight, so he could be, well, it's rather vulnerable. No distance Force Major watching on the side. He's still very tanky, though, but the Essence Ring popped is taking a lot from Beastcoast to bring him down. They'll charge in Gojira. Could he finish off this abandon? Seneko's still alive. Finally, he falls.
Long jump.
With the Blade Fury. Notice, though, he's in on the back, stomping in onto Stinger and Whisper. Beastcoast, they're still pushing forward, though. A second kill set up for K1 as Force Major. No escape for him either. Beastcoast swinging back with the fight that they need.
And they'll get the Doom.
The setup, charge across towards the crease, making sure that he's immediately locked down as soon as he comes out of the Eels. Beastcoast hit back hard in K1. Getting some revenge for those last 2 times he's been picked off. He's the one this time getting the kills. Triple kill for him on the jug.
It looked scary for a second because they lassoed the Ursa when he saw it in rage, but the persistence of them to chase on, they're like, Doom is down, we're going in.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just jump all the way forward and now finally get themselves some momentum back into this game.
Yeah. And they were not holding back at all, pretty much chasing Betboom, from there to Beast Coast tier 2 all the way over to Betboom's tier 2, and with the creep wave as well. So they'll go straight up to the high ground. No buyback available on the Doom here for Notice. Because with 20 seconds left on the Hack's buyback, he's probably not going to want to use it. Beast Coast, they might be the team to start threatening the racks first in this game.
And look at this, Stinger, maybe the first purchase ever of Rubik with a Wraith Pact. So now they have their own auras being built in and ways to negate some of that damage.
A hold back for now. They won't try for more. They're going to respect the fact that Betboom will have the team back up. They know that Betboom's still strong, but that difference certainly isn't what it was. So down now to just a 1K net worth lead for Betboom.
Betboom's going to look to strike back now, though. They have their Doom available. I think they're going to be a bit more careful how they split up. They have to give respect to this Beast Coast lineup.
I mean, Beast Coast know as well. They actually smoke here to get that extra boost of speed to keep their distance, make sure that Betboom can't catch them as they chase them across the map.
BKB finished for Whisper. Now he's got an easier way to be able to just commit into fights. Just BKB runs in, he can lasso any target. Doesn't have to worry about anything except for that leash. And they did get the gem, of course, during that last fight too, taking it away from Seneko. So yeah, a huge swing in momentum. And they're going to take out all those wards that have been tripping them up a lot, honestly. Betboom's been playing kind of all 3 of their games around Vision. So that gem, yeah, it's going to prove to be very problematic as now Beast Coast feeling confident themselves. Lincoln's is done for Chris Luck. I believe they're getting close to Hector having a Lincoln's too. It's going to start getting more and more difficult for this Doom to get the setup. Does he have a break? He didn't go for any type of Lincoln's breaker this time either. He went for the Shadow Blade, so no Force Staff, no Halberd for him. So it's going to be tough for him to break through those to get the Doom now.
Absolutely, and pretty much that's been the only time they've been able to kill K1 this game. It's been the 2 Dooms. So without that sort of opportunity to start the fight on the jug, they might really struggle to stop K1 from being able to fight back in these team fights. He's incredibly strong. 3K ahead of a Doom that had like a 10-minute Midas. So this jug is massive.
It's crazy how he does it. K1 looking to get jumped.
Just a Manta here. K1 ready with the reactions, and they'll back off. Wait out the BKB for Notice. Maybe attempt to get back in off the end of it there. Gojira was thinking about going for it. But they'll hold back. They'll look to try and get the creep waves in a better position as mid and top is pushing back out against them.
That was their window to get the Doom onto him, though, and he was quick with his fingers with the Manta. Now he has Lincolns. Now they have both of them ready, so a lot harder. They're still going to smoke up and look for it, though. Betboom knows that they can't just play this as the farm game versus this jug, which just continues to get massive. They have to use these cooldowns.
There sort of has to be someone else going in at the same time as Notice. You know, you're looking towards the Hack for maybe getting that jump off at the same time, with the Diffusal of the Abyssal just breaking through that Lincoln's, giving the opportunity for Notice to follow up with a Doom.
I didn't notice that he went for the full Abyssal
He went full aggressive.
For BKB or anything. Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, it's going to be excellent at helping him sort of kill the Storm, or just having those extra point target abilities to deal with the Lincolns.
It's the double. They can also double Abyssal in some situations too, which can be just as good as a double.
We went to Hack to start things off, so they can kill the Spirit Breaker. Buy time with the Yules, because Gojira still falls. After the back lines, Chris goes straight towards Force Major. At the side of it, K1, he's got the Omni Slash good to go. Will be shared in between the 2 of them.
So Notice
actually splits from Notice, so Notice ends up taking the full damage here for the remainder of the Omni Slash. It's 2 dead on Betboom. They've got to run. They're not going to get the opportunities. Seneko taken out as well.
And look at the Hawk.
To the side, they've got their eyes on the Ursa. Buybacks are coming out. Triple buybacks here, as they'll desperately look to get over towards him to save the Hawk, but they can't do so. Lyle also lifted up. He needs the help here from his support. It's Betboom. They may lose more here as Beastcoast. They've still got mana here to play with. Chris zips in, jump forward. It's a 3-man stun. Betboom, they're trying to turn this around because Yuri gets him
too strong.
Triple kill for K1. He's not done yet. Over towards the Doom. That's 4th kill. Lyle, he'll try for the TP out. He'll make it out of there, but Force Major caught by the dust. He'll go down to Beastcoast as well. As that was pretty much, I think that was a triple. It was a triple
buyback because they know the Roche is coming back. They need to win. They need to win the fight.
Now they're down 7k. Beastcoast just crushing Betboom in these last few situations. And again, you cannot stress how much that financially hurts them in this sort of situation. A triple dieback at 32 minutes. Beastcoast, they're into the pit. This is Roshan's going to be all theirs. They're going to be able to pick up the Axe Blessing. May just give it to K1. I mean, K1's having such a fantastic game.
Definitely give it to K1.
At 8-2-6, he is just completely controlling the entire momentum of these team fights. The last 3 Omni Slashes have been dealt with fantastically. You know, in terms of getting the connections. I mean, that last time it says Snake sort of splits away. Notice ends up having to tank it all. Now he's going to have a Swift Slash to be able to throw out in the fights as well. They've got to get some sort of jump on this Jug, but it's proving to be impossible. Like, how on earth do you get in on top of K1, and how on earth do you do it twice now he has the Aegis?
With the way that they charged up into that high ground, it almost feels like Betboom felt so much pressure to take this fight. They walked up like they have a war, but they kind of walked up blindly to go for this one. Beastcoast is all ready. I mean, now there's almost no way back into this one because the double Lincolns, they have to fight through Aegis as well.
Of course, an incredibly important game here. Loser of this will be out of the tournament. Winner getting to continue their run here at the Stockholm Major. Beastcoast 16k up, Aegis and Cheese in the hands of their cause, looking to be in a very solid position to have the chance to close this one up.
Mid lane, they're trying to go on, but he has Aegis.
If they can burst through him even the once. Here's at the side. Chris, he just goes straight back towards the 3 of them. K1, he's able to get the Swift Slash into the Omni Slash straight onto Dahak. A shield will come out, they're popping the Linkers over towards Dahak, trying to allow this person to get out there. He'll stand his ground, building up the swipes onto K1. Can they take him down? The ones they can't. K1 finally falls, but Dahak's out. 3 dead on the side of Betboom. No buybacks from them. The Doom does finish off Chris, but it's 4 up against the 2 of Betboom. Beastcoast, they'll be able to keep this push going strong. They don't need their Storm to take down the buildings. And Betboom, with just a Doom and a Lesh, how much of a defense can they pull together?
They can easily go for 2 Raxes here, 2 sets. Beastcoast, they're so damn good at team fighting. We've seen this multiple times throughout this tournament. When they're at a deficit, somehow they win these fights. When they're at an advantage, they destroy the fights. Always knowing who to jump, especially Chris. Have to give him a lot of credit on this Storm Spirit this game too, even though Hector is kind of dwarfing him, especially with that net worth. He's always jumping the right targets. He's being so disruptive into the backlines, onto this Grim and Abaddon. Yeah, 30 seconds, still no Dahak. They might even be able to continue.
See if they want to stick around in the base for a 3rd set. Pretty much 20k on the net worth. Jump forward on the mid, but
they'll back it up.
Well, they'll play it safe, as I say. A lot of pressure in here on this series, on this game. Everything to play for. Beastcoast, they don't want to let it slip away from them.
Yeah, they can go. I mean, they can go back, pick up their 12,000 gold worth of items that they just gained over the last fight.
I think everything for sort of Betboom, from their perspective, they've got to get through that Lincolns and get some sort of incredible double Doom off. They've got to land this Grimstroke Doom combo.
But how at this point? It's so, like, they have to have somebody else break these Lincolns every single time. Just notice. Yeah, he went for the Shadow Blade, like you mentioned from earlier, so he has no way to really go for that. It's easier, it feels like, for Beastcoast to start these fights over and over again. They don't even have to be the ones actually to start the fights. They just have to be the ones to react in the fights and just let the Storm jump in afterwards. They just literally stand their ground. They won't be able to get gone on for Betboom. It feels like if they're just there, there's no way that Betboom can win a fight. 25 now on K1. Game completely out of hand now.
The next jump from Betboom could be their last, so they have to make it count.
I don't know how they get the Doom set up on anybody. So they have to jump with the Hawk and with the Doom at the exact same time. That's like really the only way.
The Hawk is the Lincoln's breaker at this point.
But if they get jumped out of vision, if it's a smoke jump, they're not going to be able to get that.
And this
right
is such
now,
a rough position for Betboom to be in to try and start a fight. Dahak's going to try.
That's it.
They go for the bat. BKB's off in time.
Big charge.
Off the side, and here comes the ultimates for the Jug. Straight in. Chris does get caught out by the stun. He's starting to get pretty low. The leash as well, locking down the storm. That's Chris there. Betboom, they take him out, and they got the Doom down onto the Jug. As they'll look to chase, they slam him down. Dahak's able to stay on top of it for now. Oh, coming in, looking for the extra bit of damage.
K1's dead.
Down. They've done it. They got the Doom onto the jug. They'll be able to take this fight, Betboom. They're holding on.
How did that Doom catch him, honestly? I'd have to see it again because it looked like he was okay, but somehow it ends up clipping him right after the Omni.
That's exactly what they had to do. Everything had to be on Doom in the jug. They were able to find K1. They were able to catch him. And Chris, of course, the end of that, also committing a buyback. So now a bit of a risky position here for themselves. We'll see exactly how they got
I have
the
to
Doom
see
off.
what caught it, because I didn't get a glance of what hit it.
So look towards K1.
Looking at K1.
He comes in first with the ult. You see there, straight away. He got the spin off, but the Doom, it comes down.
How did they get it on him? I guess his linkage was broken from before that.
I think Seneko might have broken with the miscoil.
I think maybe Seneko did, okay.
I think Seneko got the miscoil off first because he was the one looking towards him, and as I said, that leaves the opportunity for Notice to find that opening.
I'm very impressed that Betboom was able to find that one. That looked like it was probably going to be the last fight, but live to see another day.
And as I said, the last couple of fights, Chris has been dying on the Storm. He's got to be so careful now. He can't really get away with that again unless he's ready for the rest of his team to guarantee a cleanup in the team fights. He goes down, he's going to be out of the game for 2 minutes.
Doc will get used up. Good pickup from Gojira. An interesting item build, but a very understandable item build that he's gone for this game, the Blink Yules. Since the Hawk doesn't have BKB, he's always going to get thrown up in the air whenever he presses that enrage if he's in position.
There we go, smoke time from Beastcoast.
Ready to fight still.
K1's back up in a second. He'll be ready to join them from the outpost.
30 seconds on Doom.
Let's see if Betboom can do it again. They still need to pull that off a few more times, finding the Doom on the jug or the Storm.
And that one, I'm still astonished that they were able to get that Doom on him, because like, an Abaddon breaking a Jug's Lincolns at this point in the game is not something you'll almost ever expect to happen. Near 25 on the Storm. Chris, find himself a Spell Prism too.
Beastcoast just getting themselves prepared for heading towards that final set of barracks that Betboom do have standing on the top lane.
Yeah, look at Stinger. I love this. You just see him. He's playing ahead of the wave, getting this aggressive vision down in preparation for this push already. Because he's maybe thinking they might jump us outside here, trying to catch us off guard. Claiming the high ground now. They've got the gem too, of course, as we mentioned, so trying to clear out any vision if there was here, and preparing themselves for either the top push or just setting themselves up for that next Rosh in about a minute.
We've got to get ready to prepare. Beastcoast, understandably being a lot more careful about how they go charging down this final lane. And keeping sort of that position held around Roshan in preparation to look for the safer way out of this match.
They seem to always be very good about taking the fight right before that Rosh respawn. We saw it now both games before that they were able to do that. So continuing to play in the area. Getting themselves a haste rune also. Gonna give that one to the bat. Whisper can grab people from a mile away also, by the way. Aether Lens plus the headband was given to him. So eyes on him also to get some pretty long-range initiations. And they have ward vision of this entire area.
Gonna try and start with a chase down on Seneko. Oh, will be forced.
Shield stolen by Stinger.
To the side, the Yules onto Dahak, lift up as well. Now there's the jump, oh, he's in! He's in straight away, they've noticed, gets the jump off, on towards Whisper. Coming back on the Doom for now, over to the side, Chris will focus down Seneko.
Laro's dead
caught
too.
by the Omni Slash. Both heroes having a buyback straight away. Dahak beats in a Gajiro, take down the Spirit Breaker, Notice. Still looking for an opportunity to try and get this Doom off.
Pull on four.
Vortex pulls him back, Notice taken out, Dahak in trouble as well. They're standing around with the ultimate, he's looking towards Chris, but Chris zips off to the side, over towards Lyle. Lyle getting low through the BKB as K1 runs him down. There's the jump, they'll look for the Doom. He gets it off.
But the healing ward's down.
K1, but do they have damage to bring him down after this? He's healing up, the rest of Beastcoast trying to make sure that K1's fine despite being doomed. And K1, he doesn't care about being doomed, he's trying to get back and stuck another fight, but Chris goes down. Now K1's in trouble, thrown out to the side, they're trying to save the jump. K1 able to telekinesis away. There with a save from the Rubik. He's running. The Mantis popped. He'll hold back Doom.
He tried to go back in.
Never stunned. K1. He's not got anything else out to save him. He's going to surely fall. Gajira tries to get him out, but that's K1 gone. Despite his teammates' best efforts to save him, Stinger trying to throw him back to safety, but it's 3 dead on Beastcoast. Betboom, they did have to commit the full 5-man team buyback here, but they have a window now. 90 seconds, they know that Chris is not going to have buyback available.
And they can get Roche. It does respawn just now. Oh my god, that's crazy. The buybacks end up paying off for them. Almost saving K1 though. Nice attempt there from
close
Stinger.
to getting the jug out of there.
I can't believe how hard they commit through into the fight too. Healing Ward was down during the entirety of the Doom, but still able to stick onto him.
And that's the thing, you just saw the patience for notice, you know, holding back on the Doom, waiting to his very, very low to make sure he gets that opportunity to get it off once again onto K1. See them pick up the refresher here as well. We'll see who they want to hand that one over to. KB done for Dahak.
Right, does Doom have refresher himself? No, he's gone for Lotus Orb. Okay, so looking for ways to protect versus Omni Slash.
Yep.
I thought for a second maybe they give the Ags also to Sineko, but Dahak, I mean, he hasn't gone for BKB, and they did use all the buybacks, so giving it to the core is much more important at this point.
See how much of a push they can get away with here, Betboom.
I cannot believe how close this game has become now.
It absolutely could still go either way. Whilst Betboom had the Aegis and the Cheese, you know, as we said, you know, a long time on the buyback cooldowns now. If they lose one more fight, Beastcoast will absolutely have the time to end it.
Betboom, 25 on the Ursa.
Dahak.
They have a full Hex on the Lesh now too, so multiple different ways now to break the Lincolns, multiple ways to control with the Soulbind as well too.
Yeah.
Beastcoast has to still be careful, even though they did have that lead, did have K1 being so massive.
3 cores off Betboom catching up. And indeed, with the amount of sort of single target abilities and items they have to throw out on these cores, it's so hard now for Beastcoast to avoid getting caught by these lockdowns.
K1 almost has buyback at the ready, 100 gold left for the jug.
So here from the side, they're looking to see if they can get that jump or smoke up from both teams, making sure that they can look to get that optimal position. Kajira gets in through on the side, he's going to go over with the charge. Nothing more to be had now. Whispering K1 still continue to wait under the cover of the smoke. It's hard to get a catch here onto them. Boom. More than okay. Hastering as well on Dahak. Beastcoast, they'll wait it out here, not look to fight. In terms of the creep waves, bottom lane is pushed right in, so Betboom will have to deal with that one.
Gojira, very aggressive charge through. How confident he's playing.
See, yeah, in terms of the buybacks. So with about 4.5 minutes, really, that Betboom need to play it safe if they want to wait for those cooldowns. And as for Beastcoast, I think it's sort of 30 seconds. Chris will have his backup as well. So at least 4 of them guaranteed to have a second chance here if they do lose the team fight on Beastcoast's side.
Using their vision, they get one more last charge. Not going to continue it now. Stinger.
Try and turn. We got to use up Dahak. Very, very cautious how they choose to fight into the Aegis of this Ursa.
20 gold? That's all you get for killing Wraith Pact? No, that should be a lot more, I gotta be honest. I think that's one of the first times I've seen it killed in this tournament too, but I thought it gave more gold than that.
That's a nice one here for Dahak if he wants to take it.
I think he's gonna hang on to Witchbane. It's too good versus Storm.
Absolutely.
And it's just also like the little Dispel function is really useful. Also, I've been watching him multiple fights using it versus Bulldoze. I think that's an item that's overlooked sometimes. Yeah, especially versus Storm Spirit, you know, as we're mentioning. The max bonus damage versus mana.
Yeah, even against the Jug, you know, K1's got pretty high mana pool with his stats, 1600.
Sineko's carrying both gems. Not usually something you see, but it's a lot of pressure right now in this game, so.
And we're gonna have a new gem picked up for Beastcoast.
Yep, Gojira's
gonna get one out for them. Only 1.5 minutes left on the Aegis. Doesn't look like Betboom will. Well, unless Dahak wants to try something here with this last minute of Aegis, they've got to be really aware of this timer. They've got to be careful.
Dahak is the one. Dahak kind of wants them to go on him, though. He is unbelievably tanky now with this Aghanims.
This is a risk, as I say. If Betboom take a fight and start losing heroes, they won't be able to buy back.
All about the jumps, Owen. Who's gonna find that jump? And also, it's getting a bit easier too for Notice to be able to get those jumps off, right? He's got Refresher Shard.
Yeah.
And multiple ways that they have to break those Lincolns. But as you mentioned, the constant push in from the bottom wave, the momentum, they'll have to slow it down a bit. Back it up, and that will mean that the Aegis does get reclaimed. And just gotta keep eyes on the buybacks. 2 minutes left for every single one of the heroes on Betboom.
It's almost certainly going to be a window that Beastcoast want to punish. They want this fight when the Aegis has gone on Dahak, but the buybacks aren't quite back up. This is the perfect time for Beastcoast to strike. Any kill will put them in a very good spot to take and overwhelm the entirety of the remainings left alive on Betboom.
Bit surprised they haven't spent some of this gold. I mean, look at the current gold on Beastcoast right now. It is actually insane. They have 6,500 on Whisper. Okay. Smile. Chris Luck did spend some of his. He also had like 6,000 golds just before. They are hanging on to an unbelievable amount right now. And Whisper, I thought maybe he would get something like Blink so they can get some initiation, but he's just really relying on his cast range with the lens and the headband and the telescope. So that 7K lead, you can kind of erase it, how much they are holding on to.
Let's see how hard Beastcoast want to push. No Aegis to worry about on the bear. Still G's on Lal. Dahak, they're going to be able to get the opening. Onto Dahak, we'll get the ult off in time. Chris goes straight to the back lines as well. He's onto Lal, but Lal pots the BKB. Soulbind is going to connect the two of them. The Bat and the Storm leashed up. Jump forward, there's the control. They're in with the Who Stomp. Kajira's silenced by the Phantom's Embrace. The Doom is there under the both of them. They'll get it off again. Notice, locking down both Chris and Whisper. They have to back away.
Doom.
See him try and retreat. They've glimmered him up. They're trying to get him back to safety, but he's been used in position. They're holding him back in range of K1. Dahak jumps in. He's looking to beat into K1, but K1's staying in on top of the...
Hold on, 3.
And the Omnistats are going to be Doom out of the game. Grimstroke as well. No buybacks on them. As Beastcoast, they'll keep this one going over towards Sineko. K1 bashing into the Abandon. Sineko falls 4 dead on Betboom. That's going to be game over for sure. It's a team wipe here from Beastcoast. As they'll look to move over to the mid, close this one up. As Beastcoast once again here in this game 3.
The buybacks are coming back.
The big plays. Let's see can they really turn this. How long until the rest of the buybacks are up? 15 seconds on the Earth, so 1 second on the Doom, but the mega creeps are out. See it's Sineko. Safe for now with the borrowed time. Third buyback coming in from Betboom. Can they really do it with the 3 of them? 4 seconds until Ursus is back in. Lal, he's getting chased out by K1. They'll turn, hold it back with the Abyssal. They've got the control over the Doom. Sineko, he's getting burst low. He's out of it. They did get the Doom off onto K1. Dahak committing for the jug. Can he finish the job? Jump forward for the Doom as well. K1's so low, but he turns, bash onto Dahak. Takes him out again.
They've done
back to work, back to closing it up. Onto the ancient. GG is finally called as Beastcoast. This series, it's theirs. 2-1 against Betboom. Knocking Betboom out of the competition, and Beastcoast, they'll be able to continue their run here, Fog.
What an impressive display this game too. Like at a deficit, somehow they still bring it back. When they're ahead, it looks like anybody can win the game, but some really clutch plays, really eyes on Chris Luck still. Absolutely. I think some of his jumps were just remarkable. 3 4-man pulls.
Yep.
Gojira too with this interesting item build. Didn't get to really talk about it because there was so much happening in the fights, but a few of these fights he was blinking into the fight, charging through 3 or 4 heroes, preventing some of these little interactions with the Doom, maybe getting onto 2 heroes. Beautiful, beautiful plays, honestly. Beastcoast. These South Americans really proving they know how to take team fights in a lot of these games, even when they're at a deficit.
That's the thing, being able to pull that off here on the stage, that's really the most impressive factor here, really, from Beastcoast. You cannot count these guys out. Even if they have a tough early game, they always know how to find the ways to swing it back round. Excellent stuff here today from Beastcoast in the first series we're getting on the main stage. Congratulations to them. This series, they'll take it 2-1 today against Betboom.